Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to very delayed, but now ready to go Sunday here with us at Ages Past. I am your host, returned here back home, cozy and comfy in California. And I look forward to reintroducing our players now that we have everyone back from wherever they were sent abroad. But of course, just to get introductions started, let us bring our players forth to tell who they are and who they're playing. Ladies first.
Oh my gosh, my name's Kayla. I am playing Valindra. She is the half-elf, half-tiefling, Pact of the Undying warlock with a small multi-class infighter. And she has the cutest, most adorable, most precious companion of all time, and his name is Winnie, and he is the absolute hero of this story and the hero of our hearts. So,
after everyone dies, Winnie remains. Yes, this
exactly.
This
Winnie will live forever.
Because Winnie is the big bad evil guy. It's a known fact.
You know what? No.
By the way, if there is any sound issues, do let me know. I am currently operating again after starting up from zero, so if the music's too loud, too soft, go ahead and let me go. But of course, next we have our big blue, best blue.
Hello, my name's Scott, and I'll be playing Varkesh Stormcaller, the half Dragonborn, half Goliath Forge Cleric.
Yep, the biggiest, the broadest, and the most badassy brute there is.
I'm gentle, and I'm blue.
A gentle giant. Alright, I don't know about that, but okay. Next are currently, returned from service. Happy to have you back.
Well, I guess that'd be me then.
Yes,
I'm playing the Tiefling Kenku Rogue. No video tonight. Similar technical to AJ, but yeah, let's party.
Right, and of course, last but not least, are really helpful, and he helped do all the streaming last time I was on a ship, so please give a great thank you to our last, but one of the most valuable players.
Okay. Hi, my name's Connor. I am playing Smoky Cloud, the half fire Ganassi, half Tabaxi abjuration wizard.
Yes, and again, thank you guys all for bearing with me on my absence and for doing everything that you do to make it work, and so sorry for all that, and then, of course, coming back and having to kick off. But either way, so, putting that aside, let us do a very spotty recap, because I'm trying to go off of memory. It's been 2 weeks, because we missed the Sunday one. Did we miss the Sunday one? No, it wasn't.
Last Sunday, yes.
We did miss it?
Yeah.
Last Sunday because I was sick. I'm so sorry, guys.
Okay, all right. So I was just like, I couldn't remember. So I am going off of a 2-week memory here. So trying to remember where we started.
At the inn.
We went back to the Crown and Anchor.
We're nailing it right now.
We went back to the Crown and Anchor where we talked to Garrick.
Garrick, yeah.
And we had him identify what was in the box. Well, actually, Varkesh identified that it was a Rod of Ruling and decided to keep it for himself.
Yeah.
I think we did that already. That was 3 weeks ago.
I think that's where we started. We were on the boat. We just escaped the six-armed menace, and he just had.
I remember when we
it.
ended, I got a restraining order put against me by the weird.
No, yeah, that's where. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure we did that like 3 weeks ago, and we ended with you guys. Because that was when Valindra had met up with the guy, and you all took a long rest, and then he came back the next day with information about the research you were looking for.
Then I scared him away and got hit.
Yeah, you scared him away. But I'm trying to remember what happened beforehand, because I know it was because after you did the Garrick thing, you did the whole going into the town center, hyping up Varkesh with the whole big blacksmith, amazing.
That was.
Yeah, that was last.
You sure
that was 2 sessions ago?
Not 3?
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
well,
So that was 2 sessions ago.
And we want to go to the 1 session ago.
Right. So at the very end of 2 sessions ago is whenever we fought the Bone Naga. that we didn't really know what it was exactly. And then we gathered all of the really interesting things we found. We also found a mosaic, and we took them to the Crown and Anchor and had Garrick look at the mosaic, and he was like, oh yeah, this is really cool. This is really pricey. Like, I'll clean it up and it's going to be great for you guys. We also found out that the bone naga was not just a bone naga, it was a bone ghoul. And we have to kill it permanently because it's going to come back and because it spilled Varkesh and I think Smokey's blood. No, just Varkesh's. Oh yeah. No, both of their blood, so it's going to hunt them forever and ever. So we found out about the lost temple of the twin goddesses, and we went to ask Anel if she could help us identify it, and she had kind of gone into a very intense bout of depression because we kind of stole one of her customers.
And then after that, you obviously went to the guy, the archivist, in order to try and see if you could get some information from him.
Yes.
And he did say that he would meet up with you later at the inn for dinner in order to go over what you had found. You see, because this is the thing, I do distinctly remember that Rook had sent a note to you, and the note was left there for you to say that he would return to you as soon as he could. But I think then you took a rest at the inn at that point, and you slept.
Did.
And then...
I'm still damaged from the Naga fight.
Are you?
You shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I'm damaged from something. I'm missing spell slots.
Because I know, because this is the thing. You both eventually left and went for a walk, I think. Or you went out. And Varkesh was left alone. And during Varkesh's time by himself, he was, a gentleman, an elvish figure, very similar, the exact one that you had delivered the dagger to, came to your room and used an enchanting charm effect to beguile Varkesh to relinquish some of his body parts in a way, so he could take them for his own. Though, sadly, when it came to drawing the blood, that was a point where harm was inflicted upon him, so you were able to try and break free, and you did.
It wasn't blood. He was trying to get a biopsy.
Flesh.
A pound of flesh. That was it. Yeah, sorry, pound of flesh. Yeah.
And I was having none of it.
Yeah, and so at that point there was a bit of some struggle, and there was a lot of back and forth before finally he escaped with Varkesh, I believe, a salamander at that time, unable to pursue as he eventually had. I think he tried to get one of his spirit weapon. He had his spirit weapon squash him in order to get him out of the form. And though he was trying to, keep on pursuit, the individual disappeared. And sadly, there was nothing he could do. At that time, you all reconvened in your rooms, and you also had your visitor, the archivist, Brandon, come in and inform you about not only the creature, but also about how to destroy it, and the best place was to probably go to the temple, the divine temple of the twin goddesses. And he did notify that there was a canyon cliffside just south of Bylock that would probably be the most noted location to uncover the entrance to maybe finding the underground buried city. The other interesting fact for you was that you also found that Varkesh was able to push the pesky archivist out of the room with a bit more of a
I tried to
questionable
stop
tactic
from flirting with Valindra. But I get a restraining order. It doesn't look good on my CV.
No, not that great, but thankfully it worked, and you did get a tiny repercussion, and you met the captain of the guards, a dwarf female, who seemed to be a little bit just irritated at the fact that she had to go through the process of just telling you not to do that, because there seemed to be some kind of backhand working in the shadows that seemed to force her to go throughout this process.
I don't know what's happening, but this ankle bracelet itches like hell.
But after receiving knock after knock at the door, the very last knock you heard was where we left off, as you all are in the room and you heard the tappy tappy tap. So, what do you want to do after the on the door.
Smokey was going to answer it.
I suggest everyone with magical powers blast a powerful spell through the door to kill what's on the other side.
I am gonna hold Eldritch Blast for anyone dangerous.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand on the other side of the door with my mace ready to come down to clack him on the head.
Okay. Alright. So, after the knock, you take your positions, and eventually Smokey opens the door, and standing around the other side is Rook. Hood pulled up, looking at you, a little surprised at the sudden threatening stance of both Valindra and Varkesh, but...
Smokey goes for a hug.
Well, I wasn't necessarily expecting a warm welcome back after this sudden disappearance. This seems a little excessive.
I'm still contemplating swinging the mace.
Rook, don't ever leave again, please. So much happened. It was a disaster. Just don't leave again. We couldn't stick to our nobody's left by themselves rule, and Varkesh is missing components of his body, and...
Oh, okay. You're going to need to slow down. Missing components of his body. I look at Varkesh and try to determine what she's talking about.
They tore my legs off and threw them over there. They tore my arms off and threw them over there.
you get the sense, at least just with your natural and inquisitive and investigative self, he doesn't have anything missing apart from maybe a few scales, and his horns look just very slightly shaved, filed down, but it's minor.
I do not appreciate that. You don't touch another.
Oh, well, the horns could use a bit of a buffing, and I guess there's a little bit of a lackluster to your scales, but you look okay.
Like,
You're not...
Rook.
What was that? I couldn't quite hear you.
He just goes, welcome back, Rook.
So what about you? Are you okay? I mean, you've been gone for days.
2 days.
Well, yes, of course, I'm fine. I just, I was summoned to make an appearance by some friends of the family, and it's not exactly a summons I could refuse.
Okay, I mean, are you going to give us any more details than that? I mean, you don't have to, I guess. You were gone for a few days, and you said you would give us some answers, so...
No, of course,
He was gone
just
for a day and a bit.
It would have been a problem if I hadn't. It's probably best we leave it at that for now. At least until we get away from here.
Slowly pull Rook in for a very tight hug. No, Rook, with a lackluster comment.
Rook has now gotten a hug from Smokey and Varkesh.
It's a good day. There's so many hugs.
But yes, so you're
It's
all
enough to make a four-eyed bird cry out of all four. All four-eyed tear ducks, at least one.
Well, you all are reunited, though it is in the evening, and the day has worn down, but you are once more all in the room together atop the Golden Lily. I'm assuming you can, if you wish, to RP it out, but I'm going to guess you're going to give him the 101, the basics of what's happened and learning about the creature and everything.
Yeah.
Since he's been missing, though, bullet points, went back down to the lake, found Varkesh's new Rod of Rulership, which is a really cool magical item, also found a mosaic, which we sold to Garrick, and in that area, we were attacked by a giant skeletal, multi-armed Naga person, who we were able to defeat barely. And we learned that apparently because it got a taste of mine and Varkesh's blood, it will now search us until the runes are cleansed somehow.
Oh, good.
What is it with things stealing pieces of us for nefarious purposes recently? This is turning into an epidemic.
I don't know, but I think I'm very tasty.
So anyway, we got the lead that apparently we can cleanse whatever the remains of the bone ghoul are at this temple to the two goddesses, but apparently the temple's kind of like MIA, so we're gonna go look for it tomorrow.
In the cabin.
The goddess or the temple? That's quite a difference.
The temple to the twin goddesses.
Yeah.
Which is underground, under the lake. Which we have to find.
Well, all right. I suppose that sounds like Our best bet. I'd rather you two not be hunted by a giant, horrific bone abomination.
It was nasty.
So,
Moki, remembering the fact that he just blinked out and left me to it. I'm like, yeah, it's nasty.
so we have to take care of this bone ghoul thing. We have to take care of this man who came and stole pieces of Varkesh for some nefarious reasons that we don't actually know why. And we also need to find Varkesh's dad.
Also, while avoiding my siblings.
Also avoid his siblings. And I did get another mission request from
Draken.
Yeah, I don't want to say his name.
Oh, okay.
from my sponsor.
Sexy nerd.
Sponsor.
Yes.
The sugar daddy.
No patrons, it's a sponsor.
Oh my god. My sponsor.
Yes, well, one thing at a time. I think this whole situation with the temple is indeed our most pressing issue, so we get that taken care of, and... Well, where is this mission taking place?
Oh, I wrote it down.
Don't we have to go to a cabin?
The South Bank.
Yep.
Apparently there's an underground waterfall and a cavern.
Okay, and where is this whole thing with your sponsor, as you put it, Valindra?
Oh, it's like way far north between Krylak and Alniel in a giant crater in the middle of a field. He gave me very specific directions. It was very helpful.
Have to go to a hole in the ground?
But I did talk to... Bryn did give me a little more information.
You mean
It was the place where Draken was apparently beaten. Obviously, he wasn't beaten enough, but, you know, it's where he fell the first time, so his ring is there. So I have to go get his ring.
Nothing good can come of that. But it seems our hands are tied. For now, I say we should get some rest in preparation for this diving expedition that we've got coming up to find that temple.
Hopefully this won't be underwater. We think it's just in a cave.
That would be ideal, as I cannot breathe underwater still, despite my many impressive talents and Varkesh's seemingly endless talents.
Ooh, that reminds me. If we're going underground and doing weird under-city things under a lake to find this is all rather confusing. Maybe we should actually go shopping for some Healy juice tomorrow.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. We can talk to Garrick again. See if he could give us a deal. Although, Smokey, didn't we buy healing potions like yesterday?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I have here. I will hand one to Varkesh.
Hey,
One
what is
to
this?
It's a potion of greater healing. Wait. No, I have 3. Okay. I'm going to give the potion of greater healing to Rook, and then just regular potion of healing, 1 to Smokey, 1 to Varkesh, and I'm going to keep 1 for myself.
I already got him. Keep 2 for yourself. I have plenty.
Just kidding. I will have 2 potions of healing, and I'll give Rook the greater one.
Fantastic.
I still think we should probably top up on Healy juice tomorrow, just to be definitely sure.
Yeah, it's fine.
And if memory serves, I do know you went to the Traders Guild and you were able to acquire most of the health potions, and they said that they would be able to order you more if you requested it.
That's right. And also, Lulu's coming. So
We have
that's...
to leave very quickly.
Wait. Lulu's coming.
Yeah, she's kind of...
Well, I think our timeline just got moved up. Let's expedite this whole process, shall we? No time for Healy juice. Weird temple, base up in the woods, and then leave.
No one likes Lulu!
I like Lulu, but I mean,
I mean, out of character, I love her. In
No, I
character,
love Lulu. She's
maybe
great.
not.
To us, specifically.
She has no appreciation for my beautiful feathers. She always compliments everybody except me.
I will, before I go to bed, I'm going to write a letter to Brendan,
yeah.
and apologize for the happenings of tonight and just kind of explain that I don't know what to explain, but I feel like I should say something. Basically, I'm just going to say I'm sorry that things got a little out of hand, but thank you for your information, and I hope that we can still be friends.
I peek over and say, "Ooh, say love and kisses from Varkesh."
No, I'm not going to do that. That's not happening.
Oh,
I think you kind of really freaked him out.
I know.
And then I'll just fold it up, and I'll have Winnie go walk up to his little arcane shop and slide it under his door.
Okay, so yeah, you're gonna just have Winnie go out into the courtyard and slip the message there?
Yeah, he's just gonna slide it under his door to like the...
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can send Winnie to do that. He can easily be within range for you to guide him and to do the task. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
And before we go to bed, Smoke will go to Varkesh. Varkesh?
Yes.
I've noticed he cast a spell that I think would be really useful for me. I think it's called a Hold Person.
Yes.
Would you mind writing down the kind of logistics to it?
Are you asking me for help? 'Cause I'll be glad to give it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I am doing.
Excellent. Do you have paper and inky stuff to write down things with?
I do. And I just hand him some normal paper and ink.
Okay. I'll crack your fingers. Get ready to do this, because I think I have to roll an Arcana check if I remember how this process works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I get it with advantage, don't I?
No. You get to roll it flat, and your DC is going to be 12, since this is a second level spell. So yes.
Okay. 24.
Hey!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem at all. So it's a very simple and easy spell, and you've kind of gotten used to translating it for the wizard to kind of pick up on the nature of this magic. It takes you no more than 30 minutes to really get it all sorted out for him to now copy as a effective spell.
Yeah.
I have the Rod of Ruling. I'm so looking forward to using this.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
So I'll spend the rest of the evening adding Hold Person to my spell book.
Okay, alright, it's very simple to do. It's only 2 hours worth. I mean, easy enough. Yeah, so you all pretty much make your plans and preparations, sending off missives and collecting and copying spells to prepare for the next day. As you all eventually retire and find a nice rest, your door securely locked, and you feel safe in the inn that nothing should intrude upon your rest.
Winnie's gonna keep watch, like near the door. Just like lay down and kind of peer out underneath.
Sure. Winnie will see an occasional shadow go across, and the sounds of footfalls, varying types that go to rooms, shut doors, turn in for the night, and some snoring. It's a very peaceful, easy night. And you all wake up the next day fully refreshed and no problems whatsoever.
Morning! Yes, it's a beautiful morning. I think I can take this anklet off now.
Did they tell you when you could take it off?
I have a court date next week, but I don't think I'll go to it.
I feel like that's gonna be more trouble in the long run.
Running will be the optimum word here.
Okay, well, I guess to the lake to find this underground waterfall? No. Stock up on Healy potions?
Any juice.
Okay.
Alright.
I guess we all go off to find the Healy juice store.
Well, you do know that the most obvious and what has been some of the most resourceful places has been the Trader's Hall.
Trader's Hall, then.
It is depleted.
If we go to the Trader's Hall, we might run into Lulu.
You can always look for a store that's somewhere in the city if you'd like. It will
Too
take
late! I kicked open the door.
Oh my god.
Which
To the
door?
trader?
I mean, you haven't quite left, the inn. This is a kind of thing, but you can kick open the door to the bedroom. So I mean,
I'll every door I come across, boot straight to it. Well, I don't.
Barkesh, be gentle with the doors. They didn't do anything to you.
I gently kick open the doors.
okay.
I mean, that's fine, I guess. I'll take what I can get. I mean, we could always talk to Garrick, see if he could get us a discount or something. If we let him know we're going to the Lost Temple of the Twin Goddesses, maybe he could give us any particular artifacts or relic to keep an eye out for that he might be interested in.
Really strange about that Garrick fellow is that
What?
he probably. I'm sorry, I just had an opinion that was incoming. I just think that he's a glorified wishing well penny stealer. If you ask me.
He's a business owner.
You can make a business stealing pennies from a wishing well.
I don't fully understand what you mean.
I mean,
I'm going to be completely honest, you lost me.
have much. I think we should probably definitely go to the Traders Guild or a general store to be able to buy the things we need. But that's just my opinion.
Okay, that's fine. I do want to talk to him before we leave, though, see if he has any, stories of lost relics or anything like that he wants us to keep an eye out for that went missing with the temple.
Of course.
We can ask around the Traders Guild, too, but Brendan would be great to ask, but I don't think he will want to talk to us.
Unless I'm about
What did
500
you
yards
do
away.
to this poor Brendan?
It's what I didn't do.
Barkesh scared him away in quite the show.
So he acted like himself, and it terrified some poor man enough to make him not want to speak to any of us?
Enough to go to the law and get a restraining order against Barkesh.
Yeah. It was
Well, that's a
quite
bit
the
upsetting.
performance.
I'm basically thinking about writing a new book called 50 Shades of Blue.
Oh my god.
Something tells me that would be poorly written and a terrible idea.
Women will eat it up. Just for the fucking sake of it.
Smokey's gonna look for a general store.
Okay.
Smokey's got his eye on the prize.
As you investigate the town, make the investigation check for me. Actually, are you wishing to ask locals, or are you looking to look around yourself?
Or look around himself. Smokey.
Then perception instead.
London the Traders Guild.
Perception could be better.
Alright. You look around, and you spend quite a few of your time just looking through alleys, trying to see if you find any store that might be interesting. You find one. It looks to be like a tiny shop, tucked away, dark, very bleak, but there is a sign that is kind of soot-covered in dirt, but you can see that there's a flask right there. Kind of a very recognizable icon for alchemists and potion makers.
Hey guys, I think we could get lucky here.
What's in here?
Go open the door.
Alright, when you enter inside, you can see that there is a very questionably clean-looking room. It could be tidied up a bit. You can see there's a bit of stray stains here and there, some dust and cobwebs maybe in corners that aren't used, but there are what appears to be a selection of ingredients and vials and some other unique items that look to be used for concocting potions and elixirs. But in the back, you see what appears to be a very hunched individual, low to the ground, and you notice that it's maybe a human. It looks a little slightly disfigured from what the appearance is, and you can see that as you enter, they start to wobble around the side of the counter as they rub their hands and go, "Greetings. Would you like to buy something? Potions, perhaps?"
I love this man already.
Yes.
Yes.
Potions. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I have plenty of potions. What do you like?
Okay. Any of the healing sort?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. I carry some. As he kind of does a little happier hobble, going to the back, eager to have a customer come into his rinky-dink little shop. As you see him go to the counter, he looks down and you see the tick-tick-tick-tick sound as he moves things about and eventually kind of pops one on the counter. Pops two. And you see 3 health potions popped on the counter. He goes, yes, you like health potions? 3?
They're beautiful.
Are they free? Did you say they're free?
3.
No.
3.
He spits!
I believe he's saying that there are 3 of them, Varkash.
So are these
Basic.
regular strength healing potions? Agent's face. I'm sorry. Okay, so how much are you selling these for?
45 gold pieces for 1.
Fucking steal, guys. Usually they're 50. Yeah, I think that there isn't any sort of like bundle deal, is there, if we buy all 3?
Make a persuasion check.
Maybe if you give him a kiss.
I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Ooh,
He
22!
does listen to for the pretty lady. 3 for 120.
3 for 120.
Wait.
I think that's a pretty good deal. I will put down 120 gold.
He immediately starts to pull them in. He's never seen much for gold coin. He's just stuffing them into his pockets, putting into little... They're more like little tiny pouches, so you can see like one maybe holds 10 coins, goes to another one, pulls another 10, goes to a bigger pocket inside, and stuffs 50 there. He's just matching wherever he can.
Okay. Got an assortment of pockets. I like it. I don't know. Do we need any other types of potions? Like potions that make you stronger? Do we need some that make us breathe underwater?
I don't have those, but I have other potions.
At this time, you just see
Good to know.
the last remnants of Arkesh's tail just flick outside the door. He's already gone.
He wants to leave.
Standing outside very quickly.
I mean, potions to... What do you want? Do you have anything that makes you invisible?
No, I have other things. I have this, and he pulls out a little tiny vial. This is slippery oil. Oil of slipperiness. It makes people trip and fall. Very useful.
It's just oil then.
I also
How much
have
is-
this. And he pulls out another vial. He links it down. This, if you drink it right, will let you breathe fire.
Ooh.
It's very valuable.
You mean Varkash could behave like an actual dragonborn?
Is he not an actual dragonborn? He looks like dragonborn.
I am gonna do Mr. X from Resident Evil 2. Thrust my arm through the wall and just grab him.
Out the door you go.
How much for the oil?
For the oil? The oil will charge you 50 gold pieces for the oil.
Oh, 50.
It's a bargain.
It is quite a bargain. How about this? What if we did 45 and I will tell every person that I meet in this city and the next about how wonderful your shop was and your hospitality?
Ooh, make another persuasion check.
Ooh, no.
Why are you bad?
I know it's not bad. I just
Kind of.
I just want a little-
Goes. Okay, but I'd like one other thing.
Smoky
What? Is
hides
the
behind Valendra.
Well, I mean, big poofy cat behind skinny girl doesn't work so well, but yeah, you try.
I protect him.
The attempt is made.
Everybody do various fucking like Power Ranger poses around Valindra.
What is
Protect Valindra.
what is the other one thing?
I'd like for you to get me one tiny little ingredient. I don't like to go outside, so I prefer others to get my stuff for me.
Sure, what is the ingredient?
I need you to get me a tiny, tiny little yellow flower. Anyone will do. It just has to be yellow.
Okay, alright, a tiny, tiny yellow flower. I will certainly keep my eyes out for it.
All right, come back, please, with the yellow flower. If you don't come back, I won't be happy.
Danger, danger. Don't like it.
That was extremely ominous. Oh my god.
Well, I think a yellow flower should be easy enough to find.
Yes.
Can I do like a intelligence check to remember, like walking around the city? Have I seen yellow flowers?
Oh yes, you've seen plenty of yellow flowers. There are daisies, there are tulips, there's a multitude of them decorated and moving about the shops. You can see flower vendors too.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I talked to a flower vendor, didn't I?
Grand.
Yes, you did.
Gran.
Mhm.
I want to go back to Gran and get a yellow flower from her.
Okay.
Give it to him.
But yeah, I mean, so if you agree and if you'd like to pay the remaining 45 gold pieces,
It's a deal. And I will hand him 45.
he takes it and he has a little bit of trouble finding a spare pocket, so instead he just kind of holds it into his left hand. Just this big clump in there, so it's just kind of like reaching around and handing the vial to you.
Do you want me to get you like a satchel as well?
No. I'll put it somewhere safe.
And
Thank you for your business.
For our attempts to spread the good word of your shop, what name do you go by? And what do you call the shop as well?
Oh, I call it the Black Pit.
Catchy.
That was the Black Pit?
The Black Pit.
And what is your name, my good sir?
Samson. My name is Samson.
Samson.
The proprietor of the Black Pit, Samson, the purveyor of all things alchemical and a true master of the art.
You flatter me. Thank you.
I give a polite bow and say, "We shall return with your yellow flower soon." Villain?
Yes. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you very much. And I will promptly leave.
And you promptly leave as you exit the shop, keeping a good, quick pace as you make your way back to the main streets. Go ahead and make a perception check as you look for Grand.
Can I help with that?
Well, I mean,
She doesn't need it.
she doesn't have to
okay,
spend
that's good.
too much time. You see that in the early morning hours, the elderly do tend to get up a bit more than the younger crowd, and you can see there is what looks to be a small little cart off to the side, and you notice a very familiar grandmotherly figure moving about, seeming to set up shop, putting things onto it, rolling up the canvas.
Hello. I will walk over to her cart.
She does not really notice. She's old. She doesn't notice you coming until you announce yourself.
Just gonna kind of try to lean down into her field of vision.
Oh, okay. Eventually,
Gran.
Oh, hello, dearie. How are you doing this morning? My mind is fuzzy.
The evening, morning, it all looks the same.
It blends
If you're not
together,
quite
darling.
outside.
I'm just happy to be alive.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? So how can I help you, dearie? What do you need?
I was just wondering if you had a tiny yellow flower.
Oh, just a tiny yellow. Yes, here I have one right here.
And she pops a tiny daisy.
Here you are.
Thank you very much. How much for this tiny yellow
Oh, a
flower?
copper piece will be fine.
I will give her 2 copper pieces.
Oh, thank you, dearie.
She shoves it into a little purse in her pocket.
Are you going out exploring today? What do you have planned? I see you have friends. There's a feline and a bird and a dragon. You have
Yes,
a very mixed crowd.
Let's go with that one.
This is Varkesh, and this is Smokey, and this is Rook.
Hello.
It's nice to meet you all. Hello.
This is Gran.
Yeah.
She's the absolute greatest, and she has the most beautiful flowers I've ever seen.
Oh, she's too nuts.
Well, a display like this is worthy of quite a bit of acclaim.
I do the best I can.
Well, we're actually heading out for the day, but I did want to come and get a little yellow flower from you because I'm sure that you had the best in the city that I could find. So thank you very much.
You're too sweet to me, dearie. Thank you, though.
Okay, I will check in with you later. Make sure everything's going okay. Let me know if anyone gives you trouble or if you see anything suspicious.
Will do, dearie. Keep safe yourself. I'm sure you'll be fine with those broad, strapping gentlemen helping you.
If we see anything suspicious, an elf, a reptile, a cat, and a bird.
We're not suspicious, we're lovely.
Suspicious and lovely.
And I'll just duck into the black pit real quick, go and place the flower on the desk, and then promptly leave again.
Okay, as you do, he just immediately takes and goes, admiring it, just kind of focused on it, allowing you easily time just in and out. He doesn't really seem to mind. He looks very intrigued and interested about the flower, but...
Yep.
I will head now to the Traders Guild.
Okay. It's very easy for you to navigate back to the center of town. Do you wish to have your allies follow you, or are you just, like, trying to split from them?
No, I'm assuming we're all staying together, because Caleb will have kittens if we split.
Well, I had questions for good old Samson.
I mean,
Oh no. If you guys go to the Traders Guild, I'll wait here with Rook. But I will wait outside the shop.
For obvious reasons.
So as you drop off the flower, I'm like, is that an adequate flower for you, Samson?
Oh, yes, perfect. The best flower. Thank you.
Well, I'm happy we've done well, but out of personal curiosity, why a yellow flower?
I needed to brew my potions. A yellow flower is essential.
I see. And what potions might that be useful for?
I'm going to make a potion that allows a person to fly like a bird.
Ooh.
Well, that'd be quite the impressive feat. How did you learn a formula like that?
Oh, there's no old textbook that I have that's been passed down from family, father to son. I am currently the owner of this book. Though I wasn't originally intended to. My brother died in a terrible accident, so I took it from him.
Well, my condolences for the loss of family, but, by any chance, would it be okay if I was to look through that book sometime?
Oh no, this is family secret. Special. I don't share it with anyone.
Okay, fair enough. Well, it's been a pleasure working with you. We shall spread the good word of your shop, and I hope you have a lovely day.
Thank you. You too. Goodbye.
And then I leave.
Okay. And you head on out, as we have Varkesh and Smokey making their way quickly to the Traders' Hall to see what potions they could procure for the party. You do find that they do have the similar, I believe you had... Oh gosh, I don't think you bought them all out. I think you had 2 minors or 2 regulars that were left.
2 regulars sounds right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have any graders, anything like that.
They don't have any graders currently on them, but they can ask for an order, which means that they would be able to ship a message, and they would get back to you if any of the other establishments have them. But since you never asked for them to do that, you'd have to get them to do that now.
Well, they would be smart enough to restock. Oh well. Wishful thinking.
They can restock if a person in the local... What you do know... You worked with the traders before. Anyone who... puts anything in to be sold for the cities is what they have in stock, and they always sell those first. And if there's an order that is something that they would complete outside the city, they have to send a missive out to each one, and then they can tell them if something's back, and then the price goes up a little bit more through the process of inquiring, transporting. So it's one of those things where it's like they can do that. They could do it ahead of time, but...
Well, I will buy the last 2 health potions that they have. And I want to inquire how much oil they have.
Just
lantern.
lamp oil? Lantern oil?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a plethora. They have multiple liters of that.
I'll take a 5-gallon drum.
Ooh, alright, that's going to be quite a lot. Alright, so they'll take what appears to be an empty keg that would have been used mostly for beers, a small pony keg in a sense, to at least allow you to have the 5 gallons worth as they begin to pour and put the oil in. Alright, so that's going to be from what I remember.
I think it's a silver a pint off the top of my head.
Oh, yeah, it's just the, I'm just going through the common items because, oh boy.
She has big plans.
Yeah, you do. Apparently.
Biggest lamp you've ever seen.
I'm trying because it's one of those things where I don't want to open up my PDF because, oh my god, it will just destroy the screens. Aha.
Let me help you out.
I'm just going to make an executive decision here. Alright, so let's say, because they typically give you oil for a lantern, which can't be too much more than maybe like half a liter, I'd imagine. So, the conversion of liters to gallons, oh, good lord. Alright, so 1 gallon equals 3 liters. What the hell? Okay. No, wait.
Okay. Oil flask holds 1 pint, and that's 1 silver piece. So what's pints to gallons? I'll look that up. Gallon.
Oh, good God.
Okay. So,
alright. Yeah, sorry.
Really easy.
4 liters equals a gallon.
gallon.
Yeah. Alright, so 4 liters equals a gallon. So, pretty much it's going to be a silver for a liter. So that makes 4 for that one, and then you're getting 5 gallons. So 20 silver, 2 gold pieces for you to do that.
There you go.
Go, do that, and then I'll put it in my bag of holding along with the potions.
Okay, alright, so 2 gold pieces shy afterwards, you have 5 gallons of crude lamp oil. And,
Yep.
and you also wanted the other 2 health potions. That's 100 gold total for them. So 102 total for the entire shopping list. And they do offer, they can inquire if you want them to with the other traders. If they do, they can get it sent and transported promptly to the traders' hall. It just costs a little more.
Yes.
Okay, so they begin the process. You have to wait maybe about 10 minutes before you eventually find that they come back, and they do have... how much did you want, actually? Because you would ask for the quantity.
4 or 5.
Okay. You do know that's going to... the base cost right there. If it was 5, that's going to be 750 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep, so...
Oh, wow.
I think... Is that right for the grader?
That's what it is. I just thought that was the tax on to regular. I'm like,
No, that's not the tax. No. No, the tax is just going to be 1 gold per additional one. So you're going to, because of the process. But they would have had to have done it through at least the other 2 cities to get that, because it's 5. It would have been 3 and 2. So that's going to be 1, 2, inquiry from there, and then... So 7 pieces on top of that. So it's 757 gold pieces for the entire process of inquiring and purchasing.
Yep.
Alright. So yeah, with yourself 759 gold pieces shy from your 5-gallon lamp oil and your 5 greater healing potions, you exit the trader's hall.
Excuse me, I actually made an inquiry last night about a scroll of non-detection. I don't know if there's been any progress yet.
Did you? Oh, and you wanted them to inquire elsewhere about that?
Yeah, just like price, like could it be made? Is it available? What's the price range? That sort of thing.
Okay. So you did request that information. Roll a d100 for me, real quick.
Sure. Go. Dag nabbit slash first.
Yeah. I'll get that right.
On.
61. All right. They do let you know that they haven't heard back yet at this point. They will let you know if they either hear someone who will be able to make one, or if they have one in stock from any of the other establishments.
Alright, thank you.
All right.
Leave with Farkesh.
Okay. So, as you leave, you all eventually reconvene, ready to go and embark on your adventure.
Aye.
All right.
Where to?
South Bank.
How would you like to get there?
I'm assuming we're walking, unless
No.
anyone's
Okay.
Uber.
Can we take the boat through?
You can.
That might be faster.
Yeah, true.
Very recommended.
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay. So, returning to the steamboat Winnie, you get it ready to disembark as you make your way to the other side of the lock. Since right now Bylock's on the northeast side of the lock, so you just kind of make a little diagonal cut to the shortest landmass that's on the other side. You find that you have to make a very crude landing ground, but it's simple enough to do as you have some rope to tie off the boat to make sure it doesn't start drifting away. It's down to you and whether or not you feel like you want to give it cover and camouflage, but you can just be left there if you want.
We should probably try to cover it up.
Aye.
Camouflage it as best we can.
Okay. Who's going to do that?
I will look for twigs, branches, shrubs, and all sorts of stuff I can throw onto them.
Okay.
And I will
attempt
help.
to assist.
All right. With more help, the better. I mean, it can't hurt to have extra pairs of hands. Make your survival check with advantage.
Okie dokie. Shall do that with advantage.
Smokey will keep watch.
Ooh.
23.
All right. Well.
With a little bit of help and a little bit of luck, you're able to not only gather some ample amounts of foliage, but you're able to lay them out to break the silhouette of this boat very well. No one could really detect it from a distance. They would have to stumble right into the ship to actually see that it is a steamboat covered by foliage. But yes, you are successful, and you make your way feeling confident that no one should potentially steal your boat. Now, you make your way down onto the south bank of Bylock. Oops, something wrong?
I wanted to talk to Gary.
Ah, yes.
Oh well.
Such a shame. But either way,
Proceed.
you make your way to the south bank. Now, on the south side, you are closer to what is known as Deepwood, a very vast, large expanse of trees and woodlands that grows into a very thick, nearly impossible to traverse kind of space of green. It's mostly impassable. You would have to really push your way through the forest, but luckily for you, you notice that there is what appears to be, as Brendan informed you, a large cut in the actual direction leading towards the forest, where you can see this kind of cliffside canyon that's been seared into the ground, and you make your way there fairly easily, as you can see that it is a very noticeable landmark, and the cut inside the ground is no more than maybe 10 feet deep. It's easy enough for you all to be able to slide down into that kind of canyon side and begin to search and look for the potential entrance that you were informed should be nearby. Those of you who are looking for it, make a perception check.
There it is.
There's the button.
There's the classic Kayla rolls. I was wondering where they were.
If it makes you feel any better, I only rolled one better than you on dice.
It does make me feel kind of better, except you get a plus fucking 10, so no, it doesn't.
But yes, Varkesh, if you want to look as well.
Sure. Just waiting for my thing to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright!
Sorry, that's persuasion.
Wait.
That's persuasion.
Aww.
Oh, it is. Oh, and you rolled another 19.
Free.
Okay. Most of you find it very difficult to see any kind of cave or entryway that would lead down deeper into the earth. But luckily for you, Smokey, as you travel for maybe about 15 minutes or so, do see what appears to be a slight cut into the side of the canyon wall. And as you stop and look back, realizing that everyone walked past it because it was kind of illusioned that way to be forward, similar to the labyrinth. You eventually look back and can see a darker kind of cut. And you notice that it's large enough for you and your companions, Markesh included, to do a sidestep squeeze into.
Hey, guys, I think I found a crag over here that I think's what we're looking for.
Okay. Can I like peer in? Do I see? What do my devil eyes see?
Your devil eyes see that it goes down farther than 120 feet in the distance that your devil detection can, perceive. It's deep and dark and a very long tunnel.
Ping.
Yep, seems like a pretty good place to hide a temple, I guess.
I cast the light.
Okay. You cast light on your mace.
So I can see.
Alright. So, on the mace, you're able to give yourself basically a torch beacon. As you all enter...
Yeah, do we have an order? Who wants to go first?
I can't see beyond the light cantrip anyway, so...
Well, please allow me to scout before we do anything else.
I shall protect everyone's backsides.
I poof Winnie to his head.
Okay. Winnie stationed once more on Rook's head between the horns. You all slowly make your way in as Rook takes the lead to scout.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll go second.
Alright, so Smokey in second, Farkesh taking up the rear?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So, you travel down as quietly as you can. Make stealth checks for me.
Oh no, not that thing I suck at.
Disadvantage
Yay!
for only Varkesh. Oh, alright.
I fall down the stairs all the way.
Hi, Cash.
So, as you kind of make your way forward, you do find, especially you, Rook, being the far ahead of the group, and very quiet, you do hear a very noticeable
Sorry.
This place is dark! Ooh, sorry.
That was a really good Farkesh impression.
I was scared there for a moment. I thought I was being... My voice was stolen. It was awful.
You do get a sense that your presence might be noticed as it echoes down the tunnel for a little bit, but it's a very easy trek down this passageway. You spent about a good 10 minutes traveling in the dark. It's very cold, and you can feel that the air begins to get a little heavier with moisture. You can feel that the descent is probably a good 45-degree angle, almost a consistent ramp down deeper into the earth. It's hard to tell how many miles you may have traveled back, but you definitely feel like the tunnel system is heading almost closer to Bylock itself. So when you came in, you did a full U-turn, and now you're following the tunnel back to the lakes.
Does it seem like people have taken this path
Make a
before?
survival check.
Like, ooh, I am actually okay at that.
And while I'm scouting, I would also like to watch for any traps, of course.
Can Winnie assist him on top of his head?
Yeah, you can say Winnie is looking out as well. I'll just make them two separate. Do a perception check for Winnie, a perception check for Rook.
I tried, Cody.
I mean, technically speaking, in order to stealth, you have to be moving half movement anyway, so I still get my advantage on that for 28.
Yeah, you're both pretty good in that one. Yeah, alright, so, Valindra, as Winnie is keeping an eye out to help Rook for any traps, you do see that the tunnel is actually walked across frequently. There are footprints that do not match up with Rook's. You can see varying sizes, some of which look to be like animal tracks. You see what looks to be maybe the size of a hoof print for a horse or a mule. And you can see some cart tracks. You can also see large footprints and normal human-sized ones. You also see very large hoof prints as well. Things that, when you study the stance of it, look to be more bipedal than quadruped.
Oh, yikes. I'm just gonna whisper through Winnie to Rook. Okay, we are 100% not going to be the only people here, so definitely keep an eye out for anything.
Imagining Winnie's mouth moving with Kayla's voice coming out of it.
Yeah, it's a little
Yes.
weird.
But of course, I'm already on that. That is why I'm scouting.
And as you do say that, as you keep an eye out, there are no traps. Nothing visibly dangerous. Just a dark tunnel. You continue traveling down the tunnel for maybe another 30 minutes as it continues to descend a little steeper now. Your 45 degree now becomes more like a 60 degree, and you can feel the slope getting to that point where you're having that like muscle tension in the back of your leg as you have to kind of make sure you don't slide or go too fast, making it more difficult to keep your footing. But you eventually all hear a slight sound echoing in the tunnel. You feel like it sounds like a waterfall maybe, or a very noticeable crashing of water, and it gets a little louder as you continue down the tunnel.
Just happy it's not me that's being wrong.
Ooh, the map!
Oh, good.
Where
Good
are
things
we?
always happen when maps are brought
You are
out.
in the upper right. You are here.
Oh, I don't think I'm there.
We drag our tokens on.
Your tokens should be there, but for some reason they're not showing up. Go ahead and you can throw your tokens down
Sure. Hey, there we go.
so that you can see them.
Just a moment here. Sorry, I accidentally clicked out of here. Trying to highlight the area.
There they are.
Okay.
I don't have things on that token.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, I guess. How far in front of us are you traveling, Rook?
Probably a good 30.
Okay.
Where are we? Ping on the map, please.
Yep.
You are
Right here.
Ah, thank you.
Yep.
Alright, so but yeah, do you have to put yours out there?
Probably.
I have mine out
Yeah,
here.
Scott, you'll have to put yours.
As
There
I
you
am
go.
not able to modify that one, only
Yeah,
this one.
which is very weird.
Yep.
But yes, alright. For some reason, it is just being funky dunky, so I'm going to just quickly check to see if...
We'll stay
there
above
we
30.
go. That'll do it. Alright. Looks like Roll20 went through some updates for me, people, so I'm just now giving you all vision of each of the characters, so yes. Yeah, but you do enter, and you see that the room opens up to a larger cave. And in the distance, you see what appears to be a pool of water that does expand around a waterfall at its center.
Okay. I'll be keeping to the edge, far away from the waterfall. To begin with.
Can I follow the tracks that were made by the cart and the footprints and see if I can figure out where they lead us?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's very easy for you to do that. Valindra, you're able to see that the tracks go straight to the water's edge.
Okay.
Okay. So at this point, I've determined that there's nothing along the walls.
The walls are bare, rock, very similar to a naturally almost created cave.
Okay, so I'll return to group up with the party at this point then. I don't see any other way forward other than through the water.
Yeah, it's where the tracks lead, so it's where we should probably go.
Wait, with my slight height advantage, can I maybe ascertain that if there's like a upper level to the waterfall?
Well, from what you can see, absolutely, there is a bit of water that is coming out. It's almost as if like it's just emerging from the stone and it's just falling down across like in front of the wall. It's like a wall of stone. It just kind of moves down like a fountain.
All right. Well, I'm stumped.
Well, I could make myself aquatic and just check to make sure there's nothing underwater that we need to worry about.
Yeah, that might be good.
Alright.
I mean, if they're taking a cart through the water, I can't imagine that it will be very deep.
Unless, of course, someone is taking advantage of the resource of the undead in the lake, in which case they don't need to breathe.
I was also thinking that maybe that waterfall, there's a cave behind it or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Also
thinking.
Alright, so Smokey's going to cast Alter Self and make himself aquatic.
Okay.
Oh, cat.
Going.
And so he's going to just...
Is he a catfish?
Slightly. So yes, Smokey, as you walk towards the water and in it, you notice that it doesn't go much more than maybe shin deep. It's a very shallow pool.
And so he's sloshing forward. He's just going to actually go under and just sort of like kind of army crawl under the water. Just keeping an eye out, looking for anything in particular on the floor.
Alright, like a very weird toddler in the shallow ends of a pool, you just basically find a way to quote-unquote make yourself supposedly drown, but luckily for you, you have Alter Self, as you army crawl under a very shallow water. It is no more than maybe a foot or a foot and a half deep.
Ah, great.
So it's a pretty peculiar sight for you all to watch Smokey do this. You can still kind of
My
see bits
tail
of
is
him.
just flipping.
Yeah, the tail's way up there. It's yeah. But you do reach the waterfall, and you can see that as you get to that location, there is a space, an open void behind the falls.
Alright, I'm going to try and go underneath the falls and just like poke my head through.
Okay. You're able to look through, and you can see on the other side the tunnel continues into another location.
Alright, I'll stick my head back through. Hey guys, as you can see, it's not super deep or anything, and there's a tunnel behind this waterfall.
Okay.
I will.
Alright, so that settles that.
And I will take the rear again.
Okay. Yeah. You all move into position, making yourselves ready to march on into the depths of the tunnel system. You can see that it winds and bends around a bit, and you can still hear the sound of water as you look and can see a larger body of it that seems to block the center of the entire cavern. There is a dry spot of land that just leans down around the southern part and moves around it towards what appears to be in the distance another darker tunnel. It looks to have like a black void where it could continue into a new location. But you all do go through, and you are soaking wet. You can feel the water has just kind of saturated you as you pass through the falls, and you just completely are, soaked.
I'll take a minute to prestidigitate the water off of everyone.
Okay. It is going to take you a little while to do this as you begin to do that, and you all make your way inside. Can everyone make a stealth check for me real quick?
Of course.
Can't be much worse.
Boop.
Yeah, really can't. That was a 1.
Man.
That's not great.
It's not.
Okay. So you definitely try to remain as quiet as you can when it comes to, getting everyone cleaned up, because you're still making, I believe it's a verbal for this, and everyone's trying to stand there and be quiet. But you do echo a tiny bit in the chamber. It's not much. You're pretty soft with your words, but Varkesh does seem to have a bit of noise associated with him as he kind of moves and tries to readjust himself as the clink of the plates kind of echo in the chamber a bit more. What's everyone's passive perception again?
Oh, not very high.
20.
Mine's 11.
15.
Mine's 20.
14.
And Rook's was what?
20.
20.
20. Okay. Let me just do this.
Completely innocuous roll.
Yeah, totally. 100% innocuous, no chance it'll ever be anything bad for us. I see no way it could go poorly.
Alright, and then plus that. Okay, just doing this real quick to see, because maybe. Okay, Rook, what was yours again?
20.
Alright. No, nothing out of the ordinary. It seems to be a very quiet tavern, but a cavern. But yes, as you work and move towards each of your party members, and Varkesh is kind of the one you focus on at this point, you hear a slight slithering noise for a second, which makes you pause, but at that time, the pause and look around is quickly interrupted as you can see a larger creature come out from the walls as the light from Varkesh's mace reveals it to be a mouth that is gargantuan in size, blue and slick, as you can see what appears to be a thundering looking maw of lightning sparking across teeth and tongue as it goes and clamps on to Varkesh. I need you all to roll initiative.
Oh no!
Oh, God.
It what?
Oh
It does what to me?
It clamps onto you.
Damn it. Why me?
My rolls have been 5, 2, 5, 5. This is going great, guys. Oh, good.
Oh, 20. Wow. That's... I'll take that. 21.
Behir?
All right, not bad, not bad. Okay.
Yep, Behir. Excellent.
Behir? Behir? Oh, natural 20 for it. All right.
Where?
Son of a bitch. The one time I can get a really high initiative roll and you fuck me.
Well, the dice fucked you on that one. Wow. Natural 20 on the Behir. Okay, and it gets its surprise round because it loves you all so much.
That bite wasn't the surprise round?
This is its attack. It gets the surprise, and then
Okay.
and then we go into because none of you got a weapon of warning or anything like that, so you ain't gonna get that little bit of
Campaign.
Yeah, wrong campaign. All right, so there we go. Okay, so it starts the turn off as it goes towards Varkesh. First, it's going to actually technically make a constriction towards you, so it's going to do this with advantage. 22.
Just meats.
Just meets. All right, so as it does, it constricts around Varkesh, its long body, thick and large, as it just kind of pulls him in with its taut muscles, dealing... Let's see.
No damage.
Oh,
That thing's got like an 18 pack.
It's going to deal. Yeah, it's going to deal. That's 40. It's going to deal 40 damage to you.
Jeez.
I'm sorry.
This is going great, guys.
I think I just had a coronary. How much damage did that fucking thing do to me?
That would be 40.
4-0.
4-0.
For those of you playing along at home.
Another bit.
And then it goes and opens its mouth and goes to bite down on Varkesh to encompass him fully in its maw. It does not do so. As it tries to do that, Varkesh immediately kind of pulls his hands up and just goes, "No!" and moves it out of the way. It just barely misses instead of swallowing him whole. It now starts its turn at the top of the round and makes another bite attack at Varkesh in an attempt to kind of natural 20.
Motherfucker! Oh, no.
I've just been eaten!
It has advantage?
Yes, you have. With an
Yes, because Varkesh is restrained, so he would.
Oh god.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't. Wait. Does restrain give him advantage?
Restrain does, grapple does not.
Yes, but he is restrained
Oh, then
based on the
he's only
constrict
grappled.
flavor test.
He's only grappled, so it's
Then
only
not
24.
advantage.
All right, so yeah,
The
you
target
only...
is grappled, escape DC 16 with the Behir is an already constricting a creature, and the target is restrained until the grapple
Oh
ends.
shit! Until the grapple ends. Yep. So it is advantage. Okay, never mind. So that is full damage. 45 additional on top of it. Okay. No! Adamantine armor. You are immune to this.
Woohoo! I totally fucking forgot about that.
Beautiful.
So luckily for you, you do not take the extra 19. You only take the additional 26.
Oh,
That's 66 damage.
But you are at this point as Varkesh gets his clamp gets clumped on him. He just suddenly disappears as he gets swallowed down.
So I do get eaten.
You do get swallowed. So
Son
you
of
are
a
currently inside the creature as you are being pushed down by its large muscles to swallow you.
I hope I give him the shits.
Oh no!
And as it does,
man.
it
Just
looks
like
at the
corn.
nearby enemies and allies. Technically, Rook, you are the closest, so it's going to try to constrict you.
No!
Alright, it's gonna be a party, boys. Let's do it.
So it's
Yeah,
18.
I'm grappled.
Okay, alright. You are grappled, and I'm assuming you want to use your reaction?
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, you only will, instead of taking 23, you take 11 damage. Man, it rolled really high on Varkesh's first constrict.
Oh, no fucking shit,
So
did it?
high.
115 health down to 49.
Yeah. But as it moves, it starts to slither its body towards Rook. As Rook, you suddenly feel the tight muscle just squeeze you really hard. You are now fully stuck in its clutches. It's not
aim
letting you
for
go.
its kidney.
Melindra,
Good.
it's your turn to start.
Well, let's see here. What can I do? Golly. Okay. Okay. So I can move 5, 10, 15, 20. Can I move over here
Uh-huh.
and bonus action hex on the creature?
Uh-huh.
And then can I take the oil and pour it over Rook and see it? Like, if I do that, will it give him, like, disadvantage on trying to constrict him? Because he's so slippery?
You're going to do Oil of Slipperiness?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
what that does.
Always lube your bird.
Yeah.
Every Thanksgiving meal, that is one of the most important things to do.
I mean, do I think that'll work?
Chicken.
Yeah, so you pour it across him. Yeah. As you do, he is applied with it, and you now are under the effect of free movement.
Yeah. And
Oh,
as
fuck yeah.
I'm pouring this, like, really oily, goopy stuff all over his nice, pretty feathers, I'm just gonna go, sorry, and just get him completely smothered in it.
Okay, yeah. He's smothered.
And then...
And the creature is hexed. I'm assuming you want it to be strength checks?
Yes.
Okay, yep, so he is effectively hexed.
I don't think you got much left. Maybe a little movement.
Yeah, you have some movement left.
I do. Yeah, I'm just gonna 5, 10, hippity. Ooh, actually, I'm gonna 5, 10, 15, hippity hoppity my way.
Great, and as you do that, you take an attack of opportunity.
Oh, fuck! Fuck, no!
Yes,
You
yes.
tricked me!
It does seem to have a bit more trouble keeping Rook constricted, but at the moment he's still in there, so all he can do is bite, so he's only going to bite you.
Oh, he has more than
17
one hand. He can grapple as well.
Shut up, Cody!
Does that hit or miss? 17.
Raw, boys.
17 misses, alright. Luckily for you, you notice that the creature's large size is able to get further than most creatures can and could reach out to you at 10 feet. And you luckily just roll and tumble out of the way in time as it tries to bite on you after you apply the oil to the bird.
And Winnie is bippity-boppity bouncing further down the tunnel and keeping an eye for anything else coming.
Okay, well luckily for you, since you took the opportunity attack, Winnie does not take it, as he just scurries away like a tiny little fennec fox, down and around to get out of sight. Varkesh, what do you wish to do while you are completely stuck inside the throat?
Contemplate my life choices and how it led me here. Stars. Well, now that I'm quite literally in the belly of the beast, I'm going to get really annoyed at this fact, and I'm going to inflict wounds upon its colon.
Okay,
I have to get advantage for that or something, because I'm point blank with any internal...
Yeah, no, I would at least give you advantage, but I'm just not sure if I would just count that as an auto hit, because it's like...
He could crit.
You could
Well,
crit.
there's a thing to consider, too, which is just the fact that his arms are going to be real fucking stuck to his side and being in the guts of the Behir.
I guess, yeah, that would be the thing of, like, being able to twist your hand at the right... So go ahead and make it with advantage, because you're... I mean, it's there. It's very impossible for you not to be touching it, so...
Okay. First, I'll bonus action healing word myself at level 2, because I need
Okay,
it.
and what level do you want to cast the Inflict?
I'm going to do that at level 4.
Okay, alright. So go ahead and do your bonus action healing with your feet, allowing you to do that.
Healing word, level 2.
Alright, so you heal for an additional 11 hit points.
11. And, back up to 60. That's fine. And, yes, the thing I said I was going to do.
Inflict wounds.
The inflictee of the wounds.
Go right ahead. at 4th level. Oh yes, that absolutely hits. That is 1 away from a crit, which is so sad, but yes.
Okay. 4. Wow.
60.
34.
34 damage. Alright, let's see here. Okay, yeah, alright. So, you definitely apply the damage as you kind of feel the fleshy bits around his throat, and you start to bleed the necrotic energy right into it. And you can see that it's starting to affect the muscles as they kind of convulse and wane a bit from this withering touch that seems to cause it enough irritation that it makes a con save grow. Yeah, it makes a con save. Alright. 16. The DC's 14. Alright, so you see it almost wanting to regurgitate you, to get you out of its throat, but instead it hunkers down and keeps you inside, preventing you from actually being upchucked.
That's fine. I'll just keep healing myself, and I'll just be like the worst fucking kidney stone this fucker will ever experience.
Okay. Alright. That's your turn?
Well, it's not exactly I'm going to fucking walk anywhere.
Yeah, you can't really move.
I've only got 2 directions, north or south.
Rook, it is your turn.
I'm gonna go ahead and spend that 5 feet of movement to get out of this guy's hands.
Okay, as you spend 5 feet, just pop right out.
Yep. Just pop right out, landing next to him. Would Varkash currently count as a threat to him to work with sneak attack or no?
Not as much, necessarily. The sneak attack is more of a distraction, something on the external outside that causes it to kind of look away, where you can take that advantage.
I mean,
indigestion kind of sucks, but that's a fair ruling. So, I'm gonna go ahead and look him over and bonus action try to insightful fighting on him.
Alright, go ahead. It's going to make a deception charisma check.
Deception charisma.
So that's beat a 26.
Alright, I don't think it'll beat a 20. Nope. You get the sense that you can see that the creature is pretty soft on all of its body, and that most of its weak points might just be anywhere you can go for, like under the neck, in between the arms. There's no real armor on the creature.
Maybe cutting around the bulge where the giant dragonborn is currently nestled.
Maybe not aiming for the bulge would be a good idea.
But I said around.
I'm gonna go ahead and run right on over here to be by Valindra with 20 feet of my remaining 25 movement, and take a shot at it with my envenomed crossbow.
Okay. Alright. No bonus action prior to that? Ooh!
Nope. That's a nat 20 to hit. Well, the bonus action was the insightful fighting.
It was. Oh, so that does give you the sneak attack. Oh, yep. Crit sneak. Oh, this is gonna be big. Alright, go ahead and roll for damage.
I've missed Rook.
Here we go. Alright, so it's 12.
Do you want us to double the sneak? Oh my god.
23 plus 46 is 69.
Yeah, if you wanted to roll it, you can, or you can double what you already have. God.
Holy shit.
I know, we rolled 4 5s and a 6 on that sneak.
So it's 12 plus 11 plus 46 total.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know if it has any reductions to poison or anything.
Yeah, 69.
I think Varkesh is going to get spat out this turn, I think.
I think they got a good shot.
I mean,
DC
Yep, so 69
that's a
damage.
really powerful
add-
shot. Yeah, it's not immune to poison, so yeah. Okay, so as Rook kind of looks for anything to kind of get a shot at, he looks and sees avoid the Varkesh in the side of the throat, and instead aims up towards the head. And as the creature turns and kind of does a hissing motion towards you, you just immediately fire right inside the back of the throat, and you kind of go inside, near to the point where it actually goes past and into the back near the spine. As you can see that you actually hit it very hard. I am going to say it is enough, and I would say with the way that you precisely did it, it would count as an internal, because technically the Behir only has to make a con save when someone inside does the damage, not outside. But I'll go ahead and make him do another con save just because it was right inside the throat with the way that you crit aimed so well in that shot.
Crit succeed now.
It does succeed, sadly. It does not upchuck him, but it is a very nasty wound, and it has made a long bolt that is splintered into the back of his throat. It looks like he'll have trouble swallowing again.
Nice.
But yeah, is that your turn?
That is my turn.
All right, a smoky dokie.
Those 7 points short of max damage on the sneak attack.
Yep.
So, I'm sorry, I was blanking out. So is Varkesh out of the monster?
No, he's inside still.
Okay, in that case, I am going to try and cast Banishment on the monster.
What? Stop banishing my hexes,
Then
man!
come back! We're gonna kill it afterwards!
Okay. So yeah, it makes a charisma save.
Charisma save DC 16.
All right, it makes a charisma saving throw. Nope. So, as he does this, you just focus it, and the Behir disappears. Varkesh included.
What?
I'm inside the bugger.
Well, he's not a worn object, though.
Oh no!
So, now I'm going to be dissolved.
So, during this time, he's
Myself
gone.
out.
It is turned. It is in the
It's
harmless.
still my turn.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to move?
I would like
It's
to move.
incapacitated. It's incapacitated either way.
6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm dashing with my feline agility PS.
Okay, all right.
So that's all that. That's my movement.
Uh-huh.
With Varkesh gone, yeah, that totally just changes everything. I dropped the frickin' spell.
Okay, so you just drop it as you come back.
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't get attacked.
That's fine. That's
Sure.
fine. So
That's
you
worth
just
the 4th level.
you banish the creature, notice that Varkesh doesn't emerge, and you just release it as you get into a safe distance. As the creature once more comes back into the material plane, looking around, very confused as it sees you now all in that position. And it maneuvers itself right here and lines up its breath as it raises its head high, and you see electric energy crackling into its mouth before it shoots it out in a line towards all three of you.
10.
good.
What? Damn it.
Is this like a dex save or?
This is a dex save.
I almost didn't line up, but then Smokey wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Not
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh boy. Rook doesn't succeed, Valindra does succeed, and Smokey does not.
Still take half damage from evasion.
Buddy.
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and deal the
my
12d10.
Yeah, this is nasty. I ran one of these once I killed a player.
Alright, here we go. So, a total of 67 damage towards Smokey, and towards Rook you take half, so that is now 33, and 33 for Valindra.
Okay. I'm bloodied, but I'm up.
Same.
Alright. And then it's going to start to slither its way, and it's going to dip into the water a bit. Let's see, actually, so it was here at first, so it's got its, how much movement is it again? It has
Probably quite a bit.
50, alright, so yeah, it goes right there.
I now legitimately hate Bahirs.
As Varkesh is now still inside the creature's belly. Valindra, it is your turn.
Well. Heck. Alright, oh god. With it hexed.
By the way, which spell slot did you use for the hex?
One of my Eldritch Knights.
Okay, so it's a first level one.
Oh shit, that's right.
That's fine. That's good. It's a first level hex.
No.
It just means it lasts an hour as opposed to longer. That's the only difference.
That's all it is. It's its duration.
Yeah. Oh well. I will cast Magic Missile at 4th level.
Okay. They all hit.
Plus X!
Alright, so that's
So wait, I do this
'cause that's
5 times?
That's a single dart. No. So you have to do it. The initial one is 3, and then you have to do an additional 3 on top of that, so 6 total. So roll 5 more times.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alright, so that is going to be a total of 8, 11, 15, 20, 22 damage of force at first, and then you have your necrotic that comes on afterwards with the hex.
2, 3,
9,
4,
14,
5,
16,
6.
18, 19 necrotic.
That's not stellar. Okay.
Nice.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. As
Yeah. It was good until those 2 2s and 1s at the end. It just makes me sad to see them.
as you quickly get yourself back up on your feet after dodging this terrible blast of lightning energy, you turn around and you can see the creature come as you just quickly begin to form the 4 starts as they appear in front of you and just blast the creature in front, just impaling him, and each time it hits, you see this like necrotic bruising that begins to spread at each of the impact points, weakening it further. It looks really bad. It didn't expect a sudden impact of force damage from you, as well as taking a massive hit from the rogue. Varkesh. Oh, unless you wish to move, Valindra.
What have we learned?
I'm tempted just to take the opportunity attack so that Smokey can move and not get it.
I have... I'm not going to say.
But I also... If I don't think I want to do that, though.
We have a whole round of us before it gets to go again.
I know.
Oh, God. Kyle did bring up a point. Please make a Constitution saving throw to see if you hold the concentration effects.
God damn it, Kyle. Why? What is wrong with you?
What is it, like
Advantage
16?
because forecaster. I know, it's all fair, but...
It is 16. Oh, no, actually 15, because it would be... No, wait. No, yeah, 16. That's correct. Yeah, because it's 32. So...
Hex damage does not go through.
Sadly, the Hex was pooped out at that point. So that's the 19 damage brought back.
Kyle is off Kayla's Christmas list.
He's on the naughty list.
He's on the naughty
Well,
list.
then I guess I will bonus action Hex.
Okay, would you like to use your Warlock or Wizard spell list? First or 4th level?
Just do another first.
Alright, yeah, fine. It's not so much of a waste since you lost it.
I think that's my last first level, though.
It is.
Is it? Do you only get 2?
A level 3 for Eldritch Knight.
Yeah, alright, only 2. Yeah, but that's still fine. Alright, as you reapply the Hex onto the creature as a bonus action. Or not. Because you technically already cast a spell. Oh, wait. No, wait, hold on.
Yeah, it requires a feat.
Yeah, that's right. Sadly, you wouldn't be able to cast Hex this turn, but you can do other things if you'd like.
Okay. I don't think I have any other bonus action spells.
We don't have to do a spell. I mean, you can do other things.
I don't have any, like...
You have you have your fighter thing. Your short rest, whatever. Second wind. That's what it is. Use that.
Yeah, I can do my second wind. I guess I'll do that.
Alright, you second wind and heal for full, since Winnie is still within 100 and so feet of you.
Or action surge.
You can also action surge.
I thought about action surging, but I don't know if we're going to short rest in here, and I would like to save it in case there's something really big and bad later on, and this thing is already looking pretty dead.
The here is not big and bad enough.
This thing just swallowed me like a fucking frittata.
I know, but it's got necrotic bruises, so I feel like it's looking a little rough. So I'm just gonna.
So you heal for 13. No, it's
10 plus.
10 plus our fighter level, 13.
Yep, 13. Yeah, 13.
We were right.
Oh, not 34. Oh God, no, 64.
All right, Varkesh, you're inside the beast. The creature looks to be wavering a little bit. Well, I mean, you can feel it not as strong as it once was.
Do I have to take acid damage? I think I have to.
At the start of its turn, right, because it did come back in. That's right. Yeah, since he dropped it, it would have had that happen. So let's do that real quick.
Fire is fire. It's gonna be like the last thing I fucking say before it TPKs my character.
No, I doubt it. It's only going to deal 24 damage to you.
Oh, only fucking 24.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
rolled
then.
really high on that one, but that's okay.
You're an ass.
But yeah, it's 24 acid. It's still your turn, though.
Okay, minus 24. Right, I'm going to inflict wounds at level 2.
Okay, you get advantage on this because you are pretty much in the belly of the beast.
Crit.
Crit. 17.
Don't
Well,
miss.
17
I don't think.
17.
just hits. You just hit it.
It's good news.
Yeah, right. 26.
Ooh, oh Alright, just shy of the damage for it to make a con save. You instead just once more reach into your vicinity nearby and grab onto the fleshy throat and just bleed out the necrotic energy again into it. As you can see, it kind of deteriorates and makes a bit of a hole inside of its throat. It looks like a nasty... Well, I mean, you can't really see that well, but you can feel like your fingers go through an empty gap of flesh.
Does the dragon claw come out of its side or something?
Oh yeah, we're just having an alien moment.
Yeah!
I love it.
But yes, yeah, any bonus action?
Yeah, I'm going to healing word my...
Alright, a second
Wait,
level.
actually, do I still have any movement? Like, can I move to grab things from my bag at all?
You're restrained and blinded, though.
Yeah, not really. But, I mean, since you technically only cast the Inflict Wounds at a second level, you can cast your bonus action at a higher level if you wanted.
No, I'm wasting too many spells at this point. I'm gonna risk it and leave it to my comrades to help.
Yeah.
Purge me from this creature.
Rook, it's your turn.
Famous last words.
Alright, so going to, as a free action, draw my other hand crossbow on my offhand and just offload bolts from both of them directly into the beer.
Okay, so which one do you want to shoot first?
And Venom is going first.
Alright, the enchanted bow first, as you fire up close. That misses as it goes wide.
And I'll just make the offhand, which also misses.
That also misses as it also goes wide, as both bolts just slick off and veer away from the creature's flesh.
Why is this my
2, 4, 6, 6 for all those rolls there, by the way.
That's really unfortunate. I mean, that's what you get for rolling a crit afterwards.
Yeah, pretty much. And that'll end my turn.
Okay, dokers.
Pulling an attack here.
Smokey, what do you want to do?
Damn it, Rook, you were supposed to do it for me. How we're lined up, this will work okay. I will cast Fireball over the water so it just hits the here.
Make an intelligence check for me to see if you can do that properly.
Sheet. Intelligence, 18.
You seem pretty confident in being able to position it just out of range of your allies. Go ahead and roll your damage as it makes a dex save.
Fireball. It's a spell.
It rolls a 22.
Save, so 14.
14, alright. It looks really hurt. Really hurt. It's just barely hanging on right now. Barely doing it. And it does not want to die at this point. So it's going to use its action to disengage from all of you.
No!
And it is going to dive into the water.
No!
And it begins to sink and look deeper and deeper into the actual murky water. It's pretty far off from sight right now.
Okay, so...
Alright.
So...
acid damage.
Farewell.
Marcus takes 16.
Okay, now I'm looking very bad.
Okay.
Alright. But it just slithers away now. And it is going and diving. Valindra.
Okay. Can I still see it?
Not under the water right now, currently, no. Well, you have Devil's Sight. Yes. You can see what appears to be a very faint blue silhouette of the creature. Anything living in this world that has some kind of essence or soul to it, you can detect with your Devil's Sight.
Okay. I will move a little bit closer just so I can see it better.
Okay, you start to actually get now neck deep in the water at this point.
Ooh, I will back up to torso deep.
Okay.
So I can't do bonus action Hex and then cast a spell in the same round.
If it's a cantrip, you can.
Well, I don't want to cast this cantrip. Okay. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. Okay. Okay. Whew. Okay. I will bonus action Hex.
Okay.
I will Toll the Dead.
Okay. So this is your 4th level spell for the Hex, correct?
Yep,
No,
because
no,
that's
you
all I've got left.
You didn't cast it last time, remember? Because it was the whole, you did your...
Right, yeah, so I'll just do the first level again.
Alright, okay, that's fine. And then it makes a wisdom save?
Yep.
Alright, wisdom save to the toll of the dead. It rolls a lagged roll 20 is what it rolls. 11.
I'm pretty sure that fails. Hold on.
I'm pretty sure that
deleted all of
fails.
my stuff.
Yeah, your spell DC, that's gotta be at least
Yeah,
60.
it's way higher than that.
I'm pretty sure it's like 16.
17.
Yeah, go ahead and do your damage. Just don't roll shit for damage.
Okay.
That's fine. How do you want to do this?
Oh my god. I'm going to... Okay. I will take a breath and go under so I can actually see it, and then I will use my air under the water to make sure that it hits, and I'm going to use my air under the water so that I can see the sound waves just like ripple through the water and just like fucking tear this thing apart, and Varkesh just pops out.
Okay.
Like a fortune cookie.
Okay. As you basically go under the water with echolocation sonar, you basically use the concussion of this wave to go through and hit with more force as it bounces across and hits the creature and starts to make it vibrate as it pauses in its mid-swim and begins to just kind of contort a little bit as parts of it just snap off and break away, most of its outer flesh becoming exposed to the water as it just begins to kind of writhe and just motionlessly float up to the surface. Varkesh, you are still inside of its maw, but you can use movement now to escape from it, as you can feel the muscles are loose enough to get
muscle
out.
Man Randy Savage burst out of this.
Alright, go ahead and just make an athletics check for me as you try to do that, as opposed to just movementing out.
Fucking sword athletics, huh?
Mm-hmm.
22!
Oh, easily. You just find that hole and you burst your hand through it as it just comes out. You guys can see that as the Behir floats, this hand just emerges and just kind of claws its way out before it just feels around and...
It's Ventura.
Varkushus says, "What the fuck was that?" Just collapse.
No.
That was a problem, and I propose that we return to the waterfall and take a break for a bit. I'm not feeling too hot.
I agree.
Yeah, Smokey will, if Varkesh just like his dead man's floating, he'll swim out and try and kick him to shore.
Okay, yeah, giving him a little bit of assistance to get out of the
Helping
water.
Varkesh get to the shore as well.
Very traumatized. This has never happened.
I am, bird bathing the shit out of myself to try to get all this oil off me.
Oh, it's not coming off.
It's hydrophobic? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You are now like a duck. Water don't stick on you at all, it just...
I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry,
Alright, but before we get to banter, let's get to safety, and Smokey's gonna try and help Varkesh back through the waterfall.
I saw things.
Okay. You basically return closer to the waterfall entrance of the cave. Do you want to actually go for the other side of it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I think it's best we wait here. That way we only really need to watch one direction.
That's fair. But then, I assume since Varkesh has a light out, they'll be able to see it through the waterfall.
Not if we place them far enough back towards the main entrance, and we could watch out that way.
Alright.
Okay. So, you all just kind of get yourself some distance from the creature as its corpse remains floating in the pool deeper in the cave, as you get yourself closer to the very comforting sound of the roaring falls, and you begin to relax and rest for a short rest. Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Alright, you all can then roll your hit dice to recover what you would like. Belinda, you get to roll max because you are, of course, within Winnie's vicinity.
Mm-hmm. What is my hit dice? D8, right?
Well, you have a section of D8 and D10 for the fighter and for the warlock.
That's right. I have 3d8 and
Well, you have more than that. You have
70.
3d10.
3d10 and 78. Sorry. Mix those up.
Ooh, Varkesh did really well.
Needed it.
Yeah, you healed fairly well on that. Yeah, that's a great healing.
Alright, I'll go in. So I'll do
Ooh.
I'm gonna use 2 hit dice
6.
Okay.
of my d8s. 2 of my d8s.
Alright.
10, 14, 18, 37, brings me up to 70. That'll be okay. And that's 6 hit dice.
Okay.
Alright.
So you all spend
I
your
rolled
time
5. All good.
you're recovering, cleaning and tending to your wounds, and Varkesh looks to be the worst out of the lot of you.
Gonna push him a healing potion.
Oh, I've got plenty of them, don't worry.
I'm gonna take it back.
Wow, that was rough.
I just look at Smokey, like shaking and still covered in viscera, going, "What? That was rough."
Smokey will try to prestidigitate the guts out of him.
I was inside that thing. I saw things.
But you survived, and they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger,
Or breaks you.
or breaks you.
I'm just gonna say this now. Never in my life has anything been able to swallow me whole in one go like that.
It was pretty big.
I figured it was a dominant thing. I mean, he's a larger blue creature, and you just proved to be the greater of the blues again.
What
That's
really
true.
fucking scared me was that it showed no hesitation. It just went straight for me, and it left all you buggers alone.
Well,
Well, you did have a light.
didn't you say earlier that you were tasty? Wasn't that you?
I may now regret my word choices in future episodes.
Comes with the territory of being tasty, Varkesh. Things are gonna eat you as a meal.
I'm a delicacy, apparently.
You're not a small portion either.
Okay, that's...
I would like to kind of keep watch and like have Winnie sit further down the corridor and listen with his big old finnet box ears to see if anything's coming while we take a short rest.
Sure, from the not from the other side of the waterfall, but in this cave area.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go make a perception check for Winnie.
Okie dokie. Oh, that's really good. A 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just pretty quiet. I mean, it's just the falls. Just hears a little bit of the roaring falls, really.
I used all my dice. Pretty much a
I
max.
will do that instead.
God bless the hit dice.
That was absolutely horrible. That thing absolutely pummeled the shit out of me.
Well, I mean, is there anything we can do to try to avoid that? I mean, that thing just came out of nowhere. I don't think any of us saw it coming. I mean, Varkesh, are you okay going without light? I mean, I could do my little mouth spit lantern instead, so it's a little more controlled.
I'll just snuff out the light cantrip, just
Okay.
in case there is one of those fuckers out there.
Sure. Leaving it to Smokey to be your flashlight as you relinquish.
Sorry, my what?
Flashlight.
Not a fleshlight.
Why on earth would you think that he said flashlight? Why?
Well, he has been pretty insistent about bringing up the rear of the party so far.
I was like, what?
No.
Let Smokey.
No.
Smokey becomes your torch. How about that?
No. Nobody touch Smokey. I will protect him with my life.
Oh my god.
So would you say that Smokey is Varkesh's new flame?
Oh my god.
I throw my mace at his head. Like haphazardly, just meh. Have it.
Alright, so we move onward.
What?
You can move forward.
Oh, what?
Connor, committing to the role.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we can move forward. Is everyone ready? Everyone okay?
Yes, for the most part.
Oh boy. Alright. So, you push on, continuing back the way you came, towards the other side of the water that you are able to kind of take the dry path around it and make your way to what appears to be a kind of like a carved stone portcullis, an archway. And you can see that it actually, instead of going into the dirt, like very similar to the cavern before, it actually presses and continues on into what looks like a carved stone building.
When we go by the corpse of the Bahir, I'm just going to sacred flame it. Just like, just randomly drive by sacred flaming.
Okay, yeah, the little bits of the floating body, you just kind of radiantly scar a bit here and there.
Motherfucker.
Well, I was gonna see if any of the body could be salvaged for money, but
You
Are you going to
can
go in
try.
after it?
Still try.
yeah, I'll give it a go.
Okay. Make a survival check to see if anything looks salvageable.
Nope.
Oh,
It's pretty much a broken mess. You did a very good job at just, like, shattering it apart with your sound wave.
I will instead inspect my handiwork.
It's good handiwork.
And it was good.
And it was good. Alright, now, as you reach the end, you can see this beginning of what appears to be a carved stone-like building. And you notice that now that, even though you're underground, it almost looks as if you're walking into a home.
Hall or a home?
A home.
Oh, okay. Anybody home?
Did you say that out loud?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to.
Do the tracks appear to go in here?
Just make a perception check for me.
Non-survival?
Sure, survival. Yeah, I guess you could do that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. So,
Wild Bahir running around.
looking for tracks, in a sense, you're able to kind of piece a little bit more of your current location and some of what occurs in the area. You notice that the tracks had gone around and did curve in the direction of the path, but you also notice that closer to the edge of the water, kind of where the water is that little bit of nub to the side and a bit across into the Great Lake, other side of the room, at the very other end. Yeah, right around there, and a little bit on the other side where the water touches the other wall. There were remains, small bits of what appeared to have been maybe broken bone or pieces, and slight, what you could see like impacts in the ground where creatures might have been torn at and devoured. But you notice that the tracks don't stop. It's almost as if there was an impact point there, something that occurs, but it doesn't impede the tracks continuing their way around and heading towards this opening. You get the sense that there probably would have been some form of sacrifice, in a sense, to keep the creature appeased.
They fed it so it wouldn't eat them.
Oh, they almost did.
So the tracks continue around the lake and head to the door?
They do. They continue all the way around and make their way. Once they get to this stone portcullis, in a way, the ground also becomes what appears to be a mixture of carved stone and tile. Almost as if, like, you can imagine a marble floor.
Okay. How fresh do the tracks look? Like, how recently does it look like the people came through here?
It's a mixture. You can tell that there are a few fresher tracks. The most fresh ones appear to be human-sized footprints. They aren't the ones that have been there for a while. The tracks for the cart look to be old. The larger hoofprints look to be older.
Okay. Interesting. Is there any type of, like, carving on the tiles or any kind of symbols around the doorway?
There's no carving in a sense, nothing that would be artistic. It just looks like a very well-crafted stone-like wall and interior.
Okay.
And so we're facing a portcullis.
Currently, yes, you are facing the portcullis. This point, it's going to be a little theater of the mindy, but yes.
Sure. So is it like the bars, or is it actually a full door?
Oh no, it's just like just imagine how like a portcullis has an open archway, kind of thing.
Okay, but it's not closed.
It's not closed. Yeah, it's just.
Okay.
Oh, so we can see through it.
You can. Like I just said, at this moment it's theater of the mind because it's.
The walkway. Yeah.
Okay.
Rook, do you want to go first?
Yes, please. So I'll go ahead and kind of take the lead on this. First things first, go ahead and check the portcullis for any traps.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check for the entry gate.
26.
Alright. There doesn't seem to be any noticeable trap that you can discern. Just an open doorway.
Just to make this easier for everyone, I'm going to burn this because why the hell not? I think this lasts for a while. Find traps.
Okay, well, it's anything that's within line of sight.
120 feet.
Yeah, you kind of can't see in the dark that well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't have dark vision. Oh, well, screw it. I don't do that.
Okay.
Okay, either way, kind of confirm that that's not really trapped so far as I can tell. Is it locked? So I'm going to try to open it.
There's no door. It is an open doorway.
Everybody just spoke over each other. I couldn't hear you.
It is an open doorway.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so go ahead and start moving through there stealthily as possible.
Alright, go ahead and make a stealth check. Are you all wishing to follow him?
Yes.
Ways back, but yes.
Alright. So you can all make stealth checks then. Varkash, the only one with disadvantage. Ugh, Valindra. Ugh. Nobody doing great.
Come on.
Ooh.
Hey.
Alright.
Smoke in the wind.
Just like a cat in the stealth on hard floors. Quiet. Very quiet. You don't make a sound. Rook is also fairly stealthy and doesn't seem to draw much attention, but Valindra and Varkash kind of make a bit more of their presence known as you see them trying to, but just occasionally you hear the clattering of the armor, the slight extra slip of the footfalls as you try to get yourself reoriented to not maybe knock or kick some pebbles or debris that might be nearby to alert those of your presence. It's a very large room as you all eventually enter it, Rook first, of course. It does seem to be what you could assume would be a home. It is very square-like in its orientation, a little bit more rectangle, but you can see that the ceilings go up into what looks to be like a pointed cross in the middle, kind of like a squared dome. And you can see that the stonework is very nicely carved, very intricate and made with a very tight fit. There's no mortar within sight. It looks to have been possibly created by magical means. There's no current... Well, actually, there is one type of building that you have seen this before, and that has been in Alniel. When the city was built up with a bit more of a dragon's influence, there has been this kind of magical element made to the construction, and you recognize that familiar design here. The room itself is barren. There doesn't seem to be any kind of furnishing or furniture anywhere around it. It's hard to tell what it might have been used for at the time, but it is what appears to be on a higher level. As you look to the side, you can see that there is a small set of stairs that kind of lead down and go towards a wall. The wall has what appears to be a broken hole made into the side. You can see that some of the stonework has been chipped and chiseled away to allow further excavation or exploration to continue down, and you can see that it looks to have opened up into another building that might have been down here.
Okay.
And this looks... Go ahead.
No, you guys go ahead. What are you going to say?
I assume Valendra's told us about the cart, so do we see which way the cart goes?
At this point, you've now entered what appears to be marble tiled stone. There are no tracks left on this.
You said this was like a house. Does this look recently lived in? Like, are there...
Oh no, this is ancient ruins.
Okay.
Be right back, guys.
Okay.
I totally forgot to feed the dog.
I did.
Well, nothing for it but to continue moving forward.
Smokey will do. Can he do just like a quick look over to try and find anything that may be, something we can sell or something of value?
There's nothing in this room. It's barren and open. There are pieces of stone that are kind of on the floor, larger-ish pebbles than normal, but nothing of value.
Okay.
Okay.
There's no, like, books or anything,
No.
nothing, just a barren, empty room. Okay.
Barren empty
I
room.
guess I'll peer through the hole.
Okay. You can see a little bit with your devil sight as it kind of expands out. It does do that kind of warping aura where it kind of moves and does like a sonic sensory of the location. Deeper inside this second room that looks to be maybe perhaps a once adjoining building long ago, there looks to be a setup of sorts. A scattering amount of figures in various poses and sizes, and some complete and some broken apart. Statues missing arms, losing legs, or in interesting positions that might have once been whole but now look to be just kind of spaced apart with whatever they can be and just loosely thrown into the room. There's no semblance of structure or decoration. It just looks to be like these very peculiar silhouettes in the dark.
How lifelike do these statues look?
Not really lifelike of anything. They just look like broken pieces of stone statues, some of which you can tell just with your dark vision. They look various types. Some of them look like a human, some of them look like an elf, some of them look like animals. You see broken statues of wolves. You can also see some like bulls or ox. It's just kind of like a weird... The closest thing I can say what it kind of looks like is if you went into a workshop for... if you imagine if you stepped inside Leonardo da Vinci's workshop, you can see almost as if like the statues are in a way like a broken piece of trying to carve something and not fully completing it.
But AJ, would you say that these are more statues or sculptures?
It's a mixture.
Either way, I don't like it.
Because you can see
And
some of them are statue-like and some of them are sculptures. Sculptures implies more of an artistic feel to them. A statue has a bit more of a...
Realism.
no, it's more of a declaration in a sense. A statue would kind of indicate some importance or some kind of memorial. A sculpture is more of like an artistic kind of representation.
Have we actually gone in the room yet, or are we still observing from the outside?
They're observing from the outside. You can't really see much. It's a dark hole for you, but those with devil's sight, they can peer past and see these kind of... That's what you can see with it. The devil's vision doesn't give you exact detail. It just kind of makes these weird devil sonar sight visions. So you kind of see that.
I guess I'll go in the room.
Well, Rook's ahead of you.
I guess I'll follow Rook into the room.
At this point, Smokey will have his mouth lit up for Varkesh, so you can see.
Oh, yes.
I'll follow behind Smokey.
Okay. Rook, you are going inside as well, correct?
Yes.
Alright. You see these as well, as Valindra is obviously a bit more aware of it ahead of you, but you can see that as the room opens up, that there is a plethora of these very mismatched and oddly placed sculptures just scattered around the room. But you do notice that there is also another hole in the wall just to the left. This one a bit larger, and you can see that it's been carved rather than an actual existing building. And you can see that as it goes in there, there looks to be what appears to, just with your dark vision, a workstation of sorts. Just a selection of tables, a chair, and more of these stone sculptures. You can see broken arms and other things currently there on tables and other pieces scattered around. You also notice what looks to be clay, sculpted and carved and made into kind of like miniature models, as if someone was testing or just making experiments on what to design and create.
Okay. And, like, are there any, like, partially completed designs or creation plans on the table at all?
You'd have to go in there to really analyze it. You can just kind of get like a glimpse of this.
Okay. Well, first I'd like to poke my head in the door and kind of look left and right, see if there's anything out of sorts in the room. Or
Okay,
anybody
so-
else in there.
Yeah, sure. So you make your way deeper into this chamber to get to that open hole. At this time, all of you would have eventually gone to and looked inside at that point as he reaches that distance. Make a perception check for me.
Okay. 28.
Okay. So, you do notice a couple things when you kind of get close to the room. First, you do notice that there are completed sculptures that do seem to have what looks to be a kind of interesting, almost like a weird hybridization of creature and humanoid. You can see a mixed match of horns, muscle and sinew packed onto large frames that look to have these bulging shoulders, 2 pairs of larger arms, 2 pairs of smaller arms underneath, a very weird set of pectoral and abdominal in the center, and a very massive kind of thick thighs that lead down to cloven hooves. That looks to be the most complete one at the moment. The rest look to have been assembled, but then left alone or not cared enough to really complete or hold much of your attention. That's the one grand clay sculpture. You also notice with your passive perception that in the workstation there appears to be a small candlestick, but as you get closer to the room, you get a faint whiff of smoke, as if the candle was lit recently, but then snuffed out. And then as you look around, your perception being high and your keen senses scoping out the room, you can see that there's a figure trying to hide in a corner behind some of the stone rubble that looks to have been kind of like kept to the side where some of these statue pieces have been placed.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope.
Does it appear that they've spotted me at this point in
Oh
time?
no, they have no idea about you. Your stealth is too high.
Alrighty.
But
I'm gonna
you
go
can
ahead and,
tell
like,
the back
get
is
a
kind of
step there.
slight. The back is kind of slightly turned to you, and it looks like it's trying to be perceptive. So it's kind of like a look over the shoulder a little bit occasionally, but just not hearing or seeing anyone yet.
Okay, I'll take kind of a wide circle around the room to sneak up nice and close to them.
Alright, you won't be able to do much. You can try your best to kind of break the vision sight to get closer. You won't be able to get to the other side. They're in a corner. But you definitely get closer without them detecting you. You're probably within a striking distance if you wanted to go after them, but you get to discern the details of the person. They seem to be a male elf. Their clothing is very nice. You can see that there's a bit more of like a silken quality to it and very well kept. A very beautiful bejeweled dagger is gone across the sash in the front.
Motherfucker.
This guy.
It could be.
It's the fucking body.
Alright. So I want to go ahead and try to... Gotta get a cheeky grapple off on this guy before he spots me.
Okay, so you're going to make a sneak attack grapple.
Yeah, that's the goal here.
Okay, so you go ahead and you make your attack with advantage as you go into that. The rest of you, Valindra, I'm guessing you're doing the whole...
It's terrible.
Oh my god.
Why did you even try?
Wanted to Varka so badly, but he failed at the first hurdle.
So, as your allies are kind of still making their way into this sculpture room, you try to take it onto yourself to sneak up and grab the individual, but as you kind of get to that point, you find that as you're ready to leap, your hip kind of bumps into the side corner of it, just making a noise as you lose out your balance, and instead of kind of like giving a good leap, you're just kind of like, ow! instead, which kind of makes him alert to your presence and look to you, immediately getting out of the way, avoiding your grasp as he just looks in startled panic, seeing you with his own dark vision, and he kind of looks around and goes, "Who are you?"
I'm assuming we hear this.
You would hear this, but he just looks at Rook for the moment.
I'm just gonna, like, kind of stay close to the doorway so I can listen.
Okay.
Uh,
As you get closer, he does hear you with your stealth of 11.
Oh, that's true.
Smokey will also like turn his mouth towards the elf so Barkesh can see him. Spotlight.
I am an interested party. You have some very curious designs over here, and dare I say some questionable methods of material acquisition.
As you say that, you do see that a light beam comes across, illuminating the elf, as well as your party members coming in to look around, and Varkesh, Smokey, and Valindra are within sight of him as he looks around, and he kind of analyzes each face real quickly, but pauses at Smokey and Varkesh.
I just fucking point to him going, "You!"
I think it's safe to say that there's no point in resistance. You might as well sit down and surrender any...
I do not wish to cause you harm, please. My intent was not ill, please, if you don't mind, just stay there. And you, he points at you, Rook, you join them. I'd like to keep you all within my line of sight.
Oh, you're in no position to be making demands. Drop the dagger.
Make an intimidation check with disadvantage. He's not using the dagger. The dagger's just tucked into his belt.
That's okay, I still want him to drop it.
Oh.
10.
That's a scary burp.
He kind of looks at you and goes, "I don't know what balls you think you have to hold a candle to my flame, but by all
yourself,
means..."
I shoot him.
If you, what are you doing?
Yep,
shooting him.
Shoot him.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, seems so cordial.
All right. Well, I mean, you definitely go ahead and you take a shot.
I've 23 to hit.
All right.
Your pride will be the death of us.
Let's see, because that's going to be just doing a calculation real quick.
Anytime we've let people talk in the past, it's gone poorly.
All right.
He's clearly a caster. I'm not letting him any longer than a caster.
That's going to hit.
Oh, so we'd have to have like 5 decks. You'd have to have higher than 20 decks plus shield in order for plus mage armor for that to work if he's a wizard, which I think.
Yeah. So, I mean,
no, 18 points of damage total.
Yeah, that hits. As you sink a bolt roll in there real quick, he just kind of takes it for a second and just kind of turns at you with a bit more of like a glaring rage, and just begins to once more incant something as a reflex in reaction to that.
Wait.
You doing something?
Wait. Before this becomes...
Wait, is this you RPing?
Yes.
Oh, okay, well you're going to have to say that as he's doing this then.
I'm saying as he's doing his blah blah blah.
I will counterspell it. 3rd level.
Okay, it's not high enough. You'll have to roll your intelligence check.
Sure.
Alright, Big Varkesh, go ahead. Continue your
Such
thing.
amazing one.
Before this becomes something that it really fucking shouldn't. Why did you steal skills from me? And I'm sorry about my friend shooting you, but he's a very testy bird.
Yeah, it should be +9, so I'll just use Arcana.
Okay.
And if you don't use magic, I promise I will heal you and repair the damage that my friend here has done.
Okay, so you say this in pretty much the entire whole thing of it as he tries to weave a spell at Rook. It seems to fizzle out as Smokey counters it, preventing it from actually going off. As you continue this chant, he's looking back and forth between all of you, but he did get struck, and make a persuasion check.
Bollocks. 21.
Okay, that's pretty high.
For that.
Alright, that is enough for him to not continue in the sense of, but you see he's on the defensive and he's kind of getting himself ready as he's looking at Rook to see what the hell Rook does.
I just reach out.
Well, at this point, since Varkesh has kind of calmed the situation, I'm keeping my crossbow still pointed in his general direction, not directly at him, but I'm not taking another shot.
I will not overly advance. I will just reach out as far as I can with a single finger and very, very gently touch him on the shoulder. Not the one that Rook shot, but still, I would give him a quick touch, and I'll give him Cure Wounds at level 1.
Okay.
And I would like to be sizing him up as far as like insightful fighting type stuff this whole time too.
Oh, you want insightful fighting? Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm really sizing this guy up.
All right. So yeah, you go ahead and roll your insight, and he makes deception.
If I hold a spell as an action, it burns it after 6 seconds, even if I don't cast it, right?
Correct.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, never mind.
All right. Yeah, you get the sense that he's pretty open and frail. He has no noticeable armor. You can see that when you did impact him, there was a slight shimmer that seemed to have gone across his body, so you maybe guess that he might have some magical protection of a ward, but it didn't seem to stop your arrow.
Okay.
But you go ahead and roll your... Okay, 7. Yeah, you definitely alleviate, especially the poison, from the kind of continuing sting of the wound, as he just does his best to kind of breathe and then pull it out and just kind of grasp onto his shoulder, looking around for something as he just kind of takes up what appears to be a spare napkin cloth and just kind of presses it on there, holding it there.
What? Can you cast light?
I think he was asking you to cast light.
That was supposed to be Barkesh.
Oh, I thought you said Rook.
I did. I said book.
Rook just kind of glances at Smoke and is like, sure, and kind of mimes some fake bullshit. Hopefully around the same time that Varkesh makes it actually happen.
I make it look like Rook is actually casting light.
Okay, then what do you want to light?
What does Rook want to light? Like, quick, we have to work
this. Your mace as normal.
Eye contact, just like, work it out.
Alright, he just basically makes a wibbly woo at your mace, and you just kind of hold the mace up in that direction, as at the end of his woobly whoop, you just boop, let it illuminate.
Oh, wow, Rook, I did not know you could do that. Apparently you are very magical after all.
Rook, I didn't know there's no end to your talents.
Just give Alindra like the biggest glare ever, just...
But yes, the elf does seem to kind of look a little bit confused at all of your shenanigans.
Why?
Who are you?
Yes, that's a good question too. And also, why did you steal things that are generally attached to my body? That was rude.
First off, introductions are certainly in order, but could you please tell him to drop his weapon? I don't like it pointing at me.
You can address me directly, and either way, I'll not drop it, so.
You may not like that, but we don't have much reason to like you in general.
I have caused no harm to you, no extensive damage of any kind. Unlike your friend here, who just shot me in the shoulder.
You'll be fine.
I did just heal you like I...
Varkesh just healed you. You, however, did take bodily components of Varkesh, and I don't seem to see them lying around anywhere, which means that you have caused more damage to us than we have caused to you.
I did not cause any damage. That was a minor gathering. But I do apologize, it was not my intent to do so, I was ordered to do so.
By who?
Make a persuasion check.
Okay, I will attempt to do this. Yeah, anyone want to help me out?
I will say, you have seen how trigger happy my good bird friend here is, and the great blue one you had sort of a row with. You have no idea what the cat and I are capable of, so I highly suggest that you answer our questions and don't cause any more issues, and I will try to cast suggestion.
Oh, okay.
Don't think it's gonna work.
That's a
but I'm
wisdom
gonna
saving
try
throw.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Please roll shit.
13.
Please roll shit. We failed.
Did you roll with advantage?
Oh, I do roll with advantage.
Connor, why you gotta ruin my day? Why is everyone hating on me today?
Mechanics are important.
Oh.
All right, let's see. 22.
Nope.
I try to do something nice for the party, and no one accepts it. Fine. It's okay. It's cool. It's all good.
Let's see. Just double checking. Let's see, because it says. Let's see.
He doesn't. Suggesting you don't actually know it happened.
Yeah, that's true, but it is technically. It is a charm.
Yeah.
So, and that's the only reason why he has advantage. It's not because you hurt him; it's because of his Fey ancestry.
Yeah, no. It's cool. It's cool.
I was just hoping it actually wouldn't say the word charm, but it was like, yeah, it does say the word charm.
It's totally a charm.
Yeah, no. It's cool. It's fine. Okay. Cool. All right.
But
cool.
yeah, you do
All right, cool.
you do cast it, and he does look at you, recognizing a spell, something that he's actually very familiar with, and he just kind of gets a little bit more on edge.
Okay, this is getting more and more elevated. Sir, what is your name?
He's a little on edge, but he'll just kind of slowly make sure no one's doing any other funny business, watching all of you carefully. My full name is Eldarin Duladai. Eldarin Duladai.
Sure. Alright. And what was your purpose in taking pieces of our friend?
They were interested in his particular heritage.
Me.
You're a phenomenal interest to my superiors.
And who's that?
I don't feel I should be sharing much information with you at this time. Should I do so, I could be in greater danger with them. I see no reason to trust either of you.
Just a quick shot in the dark. You can nod or shake your head. You don't actually have to answer with words. Is he about my height, not as heavily built as me, humanoid, and bald?
A tall, blue, bald humanoid.
No, not blue.
You said
Goliath.
exactly like you, except broad and bald.
Work with me here. Work with me. And I emphasize on Goliath, specifically.
He doesn't say anything, but you can make an insight check to see if he...
Yeah, I'm gonna try and watch his eyes.
Okay.
Come on, I have an 8 insight. 8. Wow, fuck me. 14.
Alright, this would be kind of like him just not trying to give away anything with a poker face. It's hard to tell. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But he doesn't seem to want to openly admit to anything as he looks at you all. I have no assurances that you wouldn't harm me should I divulge all this information to you. Perhaps we can come to an arrangement. If you would allow me to leave, then you shall.
Do you have the parts of Arkesh that you took?
I do not have them on my person. No, they were delivered promptly once I secured them.
Well, it looks like you owe us.
I beg your pardon, he owes me. He didn't steal any of your skin.
You have my apologies, and if you wish to have some monetary compensation, I can give that to you.
No.
What are you doing here, of all places?
I am working.
Were those your designs?
That is my creation, to an extent, yes.
How much do you know of your employer?
I know a great deal more than either of you seems to know. Why are you here?
Well, your employer might be my dad.
That seems quite peculiar if he's your father. Are you a half-breed?
Yes, thank you. I didn't want my feelings hurt, but yeah, sure, we'll go with half-breed.
Curious. So you've come to seek him?
Yeah, and kill him as well.
Kill him? You wish to kill him?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I see he has made a few enemies in his life, including his kin. Do all of you share this? Do you?
We will support him.
So you all seek his demise?
He doesn't seem like the best person. I mean, I've never met him personally, but I've seen sort of what he's done. I'm not a fan of his work.
Before we
His methodology is crass and causes great harm to residents, entirely innocent residents, of a number of great cities. If your employer is who we suspect he is, or at least the individual that we're speaking of in this case, then yes, we do seek to kill him.
So, is he a Goliath by chance?
Yes.
I'm going to say his name. DM, I've totally lost the piece of paper that actually had my father's name on it.
Berg Tak.
I'm insetting the.
It's Berg Tak.
Was the one that we were told was wrong.
That's the name I have written down for his dad.
Yes.
So it is him.
Alright, well, so you say... Alright. He nods in response.
And is he here?
Can I insight check that? Make sure he's being above board with that nod?
Sure.
Is it
So technically 18 because of my ear for deceit.
Well, he didn't actually say a word, he just nodded.
Hence the ear.
Well, it states whenever you check to determine whether a creature is lying.
Yeah.
It doesn't say whether they have to speak.
That's true, it doesn't say that they have to speak. I mean, he seems on the up and up. He doesn't really look like he's trying to mislead you in that response.
He here.
Not to my knowledge.
I'm going to insight check that.
Okay. So many insight
We
checks.
don't trust this guy.
He seems as if he is telling the truth, but there does seem to be an underlying point where he doesn't want to outright say no, because there looks to be some kind of hesitation that he could be here or he could come here.
Okay.
So we have received information of the locations of your superiors' bases, and this is one of them. Is this the base of operation, and are you in charge?
I know of what you speak of, and no, I am not in charge. I am currently... I am working for them against my wills. I have no choice in this matter.
What do they have over you?
They have my beloved.
Sounds like my dad.
And can I insight check that one too?
Sure.
Cool. 21.
He seems honest.
And is your
Okay, so I lower my crossbow at that point.
is your beloved like your child, your wife, maybe a pet turtle?
No. It is the other half of my soul.
Ooh.
Wait, like literally, or are you just being super romantic right now?
He just smiles at that. Yes, my wife.
So, where is she? Is she here? Maybe we can help.
I currently don't know her whereabouts. They don't divulge that information from me, but the one who currently operates this establishment might know of her whereabouts.
Do you have anything of hers on your person? Presently? Like a wedding ring, a lock of hair, some underwear, anything?
I do have one thing.
What is it?
I don't know if it'll be much use to you, as he goes inside his own purse and pulls out what appears to be a simple gold band.
And what's her name?
Her name was Eleanor.
You mean was? Was implies that she is no more.
She still is and isn't.
Okay.
You have to understand, she was not destined to live as long as I do.
Right.
She was human.
Oh, I see. Elf. Human.
Oh.
Thus, your work, you initially sought to find a way of extending her lifespan, and that's led to notice by your current employer, I assume?
You seem to work things out fairly quickly, yes. I've currently found a way to stabilize her condition of mortality. I was able to petrify her.
Well, if you like, I will see if I can try and find her.
Do you have... I mean, I'm able to produce illusions of things I know what they look like. Can you do an illusion of what she looks like?
I can. And he hands the ring over to Varkash as he then uses his free hands to once more create a minor illusion that does appear as a bust of what appears to be a human female, probably a bit more common than beauty, but she does seem to have like a bit of a quirk and a smile to her as she is presented in a kind of more rose-tinted favor glass kind of presentation. Her hair is curled into little dark red locks that seem to kind of bunch up at the end near her shoulders.
Right. Well, with all that, with the ring, her name, and an actual visual, I will take the drift globe from whoever actually currently possesses it.
Pretty sure I give it back to you, so you have it.
Okay, then. So then I will then, with the drift globe, cast Scrying. See if I can attempt to glean where she currently is.
Alright, I mean, she's technically, I guess, still a creature at that point. I don't know if she makes a wisdom saving throw or not.
She's just a human, it wouldn't be very good.
Well, I mean, it's just like, I don't know if she can, like...
She has any will, yeah.
Like, yeah, is she more of an object now at this point? So it's kind of like,
I don't know. It's up to you.
You can also choose a location you have seen before. No, yeah, so, alright, it would be... Let's just go with the rule of it. She would just, like, do a thing, but, I mean, you're gonna definitely have a lot of things to kind of wane it down a bit. Yeah, I mean, like, you have a piece of... You've now seen what she looks like, so that's, like, minus, what, 5 or something like that? Or 4?
Own something of hers.
Yeah, and you have a bit of hers. A possession, minus 4.
And know her name.
So, yeah, minus 4 and minus 2. Yeah, I'm sure your DC is higher than 10, so... Yeah. You're able to peer into the drift globe as you do this spell. He does look at you a little bit interested at your magic and kind of watches as you gaze inside and begin to see a vision as you feel your deity guiding you towards a location. You feel yourself moving through dark tunnels and deep earth before you eventually emerge into a location. It looks like a storage room of sorts. You can see what appears to be a few other items stacked around the room, some of which look to be like treasure chests and crates packed with these interesting objects. You also notice what appears to be a stone figure laid in a almost kind of like a grave position, like on a mausoleum, hands crossed around her breast, and you can see a very calm, almost assured expression of a woman, but you can see that she looks to be a little older than the depiction of the illusion. There seems to be a bit more wrinkles into her face and a bit more of an age that is shown. But you can see that she's dressed in a common dress, and just kind of laying there in the corner. The room itself is pretty empty. There is a door that does seem to lead off to the side, but at the moment she looks to be in a storage room of some sorts.
As I scried, is it kind of like my vision kind of like traverses all the corridors and I could like trace my steps back type deal?
Since you are doing
content-
this, you're doing this through your deity. So you want him to kind of give you this. Make a religion check for me.
Yeah, here we go. Religion check from the cleric. This is gonna suck. Yeah.
In this initial kind of divining, you don't get at first.
Wait a minute. Don't I have an inspiration die from one of the viewers?
Tamarick?
That's it. Don't I? Yes?
I think so.
I don't think I used it last time.
Oh,
Your-
okay.
on your sheet.
Yeah. If you have one, you put it on your sheet. It's in the upper left.
Top left. Yeah.
So I have one.
All right, we'll go ahead and mark it away
Yep.
as you re-roll a religion check with your god.
Oh, Tamarick, be with me.
Okay. So sadly,
Tamarick was not with me.
your new deity.
You're by yourself.
Maybe you should stick with praying to Bahamut instead. But you find that the initial casting did not give you a direct path to kind of show you how to get there. You might be able to try and maybe perhaps with the help of your deity learn how to find this statue.
I will do everything I can in order to do so. But I will, as I'm seeing this, I'm verbally relaying everything I'm seeing, and hopefully that sparks this individual's memory of this place if this location is within this location.
I am not familiar with a room that you described.
Fucking hell, of course.
I mean, it wouldn't make sense for them to take her someplace that he knows about.
But as you did
well,
describe it, he does believe you that you saw her because he didn't describe to you what state she was in, and I'm assuming you would have shared that.
Holding her tits.
Might I make a suggestion here? You saw a storeroom of sorts, full of many different objects, yes?
I'm sorry?
Barkesh
Speaking to
saw
Barkesh.
a storeroom of many different objects.
Did.
If you recall any of them in direct detail, perhaps that spell that you used to locate, what was it? Locate the vase. You could do that again, and use it on one of the objects in that room. If it is close, it would lead us to it.
You would have to be relatively close, otherwise I'm just going to get blank. So would there be anything of note that I could actually describe in terms of item that I could potentially use?
You would have had enough of a time in that kind of sensory to notice that there would have been some specific treasures that you could describe and choose to use them for a locate object.
Okay. Alright, I'll give it a shot. So
Okay, prepared.
I will pick one item from that room and actually ping it to see if I can find it.
So you cast the locate object spell as he's looking a little curious, but he's still a bit hesitant as to what you're doing, but a bit of hopefulness comes to his eyes as you try to discern nothing is within 1,000 feet. That seems to be within range. You do know the one thing about locate object is that it is blocked if you are if a path of either thin lead or dirt might be blocking it.
So it lasts for an X period of time, though.
10 minutes.
Right, well, let's continue on. We'll hunt round and hopefully it'll ping within my radar once it gets in proximity. Who knows?
Okay. But yes,
So would you like to come with us?
accompany you where?
To find your wife.
I cannot leave my post without. If I was found absent, they would destroy her.
Okay, so you were very nice to us, told us why you're here. Let us tell you why we're here. So we were diving in the loch, and we disturbed a bone ghoul. It got a taste of both mine and Barkesh's blood, and we were told that perhaps at some location at the Twin Goddesses Temple, we can try to purify the remains so it doesn't keep on coming back to kill us.
I'm sorry, you encountered this creature. How long ago?
Was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yesterday
Yeah.
or 2 days before.
Yesterday.
No,
Yeah.
it's yesterday.
All right, he would just kind of look up. You still might have some time. You need to have yourself purified, or you wish to actually banish the creature.
Well, we don't have the remains with us, so I mean, I guess we just purify ourselves.
You can nullify its lock on you if you are to immerse yourselves inside the Twin Lights light. Do either of you carry the scent?
Creature?
I smell fine.
Is it locked on either of you?
Yeah, locked on both. We were told
That
if,
sense,
if any
right.
blood of ours is spilled on it, then it's locked. That's what we were told.
Yes, it is able to be a assassin of sorts. It would search for those and kill them. Both of you then have been harmed by it.
Yeah, you know, those 6 arms.
If the arms can vary, it's not just a set creature. You understand this. This is a construct. It could be anything.
Right, well, yes, we got both of the tastes of both of our blood.
Very well. If you are to travel down deeper, though, inside here, you will find the Temple of the Twin Lights. Luna and Selena will be able to provide you with a means to purge this connection between you and the creatures. However, I wouldn't recommend going down there. That is where the remaining soldiers and the current head of this base is operating.
Wait, the big bad boss is downstairs?
Well, the lieutenant.
I wouldn't call her that necessarily, but yes, she works for him. She would refuse to consider herself working under him, but she assumes it's an alliance of sorts.
What's her name?
Cecilia,
Cecilia.
the Gorgon bitch.
Oh, there it is.
She is commonly known as a Medusa.
Awesome.
So, Gorgons they don't tend to do well with underlings because, you know, they tend to turn them into stone. So, you said that she had an army, though?
She has soldiers supplied by your friend's father.
Told you my dad was a dick.
An understatement, to be sure.
Mm-hmm.
She is currently operating and supervising the construction project that is here.
What does a Medusa need to construct apart from turning things to stone?
She is not the constructor. That is my job.
See.
So
I don't see.
So what are you constructing then?
I am trying to create a new way of changing the life of someone into something else. I have been successful in adapting features and physical traits from one entity into another, and I have had promising results with my familiar. As he looks over to the side, you can see kind of curled into the corner was another creature, just trying to be out of sight, but considering you all are a bit more friendly now, he does gesture towards it, and a snake kind of makes its way out of the corner, but you notice that it has a pair of wings. And as it gets closer, it kind of flaps up, and it perches right there on his shoulder and coils around him.
Hey, Smokey, it's the angel snake. That weird thing we saw before when we delivered the dagger to this individual.
That brings up another point. We made a couple of jokes about, you know, that dagger we made for you being some sort of ritualistic, sacrificial dagger. Can you tell us, please, that it's not?
It is not a sacrificial dagger, no. It is something I could use to create a homunculus.
A homuncule?
Well,
Uh,
What?
well, I do believe we digress all the same. We can't really leave this creature to continue stalking my compatriots, and our goal is ultimately to remove Zarkesh's father's influence regardless. So we will need to head further regardless.
If you are intending to go deeper in, I would suggest that you might wish to have a plan. You don't know what you're stepping into, and if you're able to go up against her and successfully subdue her, it could prove useful for me, and I might be able to help you. Are either of you able to converse with the dead?
Yeah, kind of.
I can
Look at Belindra.
do it sort of particularly well.
If you're able to slay her and then interrogate her head at that point, that could provide me with the information to find my beloved. I will help you in this task if you are willing to do this for me.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
that's fine.
I think that's fair.
I'm going to kneel in prayer, and I'm going to attempt this. I am going to pray to my deity. Oh,
Okay.
great, lovely Daddy Dragon in the sky. Please, oh please, restore to me my divine arcanic ability to fall. Namely, give me my spell slots back.
Oh,
Because I damn want them back.
You're doing divine intervention.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
divine intervention. Yeah, that's a percentile die.
Okay.
Come on, roll 20. Suck.
It's a 1d100, right?
Yes.
10 or lower.
Very close.
Damn, no good.
Very close. You feel the presence of your deity, and he has always been with you this entire time, every time you've cast a spell, and your prayer is heard, but it doesn't seem to be able to be fulfilled at this time.
Fucking cheapskate!
Since we will be helping you, anything that you can tell us or give us about what we're going to be walking into would be greatly appreciated. And I do have one side question. Who were the components of Varkesh given to?
Actually, that's a good question.
I will be happy to tell you all that I know, as long as you can promise me that in return. Towards your friend's essence,
That sounded weird. Please do not say that again.
They were first given to me and then taken away to be safely kept until at a time they could be used properly.
What do you mean given to you? You were there taking them from me.
Who has them now?
The one who would answer that question would be the Medusa herself. She would have seen the shipment and where it was sent.
Okay, so you gave it to her. All right.
Bitch has got my dandruff. I'm
They
gonna get
asked
it
me to analyze his parts in order to see if there was anything I could use to be able to help continue my work. Sadly, it was a little inconclusive. I was able to discern some relative information, but your friend doesn't have the similar traits that most half-breeds have. He's a bit odd. I wasn't able to...
What do you mean?
I didn't like that word.
He doesn't seem to be quite adequate enough for what I was expecting to use.
I beg your fucking pardon.
Well, if I had a pound of your flesh, I would probably have had better results.
Well, thank fuck you didn't nick any of it. I would have been a bit lopsided.
All right, so again,
Issues.
getting off topic again. So, if you said you were going to help us. Does that mean you're willing to come with us to fight this Cecilia?
If I was to engage in such an effort, that would be a great risk on my part. I would much rather just give you information and provide maybe a means for you to reach her with less interference. I can keep those that are guarding her occupied.
Okay, that's definitely something.
If you
I
want
think
to
it's a
finish,
reasonable offering.
if you are to venture down there, you should know a few things. You should also understand what we are working on. Your father is interested in trying to craft a creature of phenomenal power and almost breaking the laws of nature, in a sense. He wants to try and form some elite soldier. I don't know his true intent for the use of them, but he wants something strong and loyal to only him. Currently, my experiments have gathered me some fruits to my labor, as my familiar here, he kind of touches the snake. He is no longer just a celestial spirit. I was able to infuse him with some very rare ingredients from some of the other creatures in this world. And he has become, for a lack of a better term, a quattle.
Bless you.
What?
Quattle.
He is essentially a quattle.
Oh, how
I know what that is, but
distract the people guarding this bitch Dusa?
I am able to at least draw some of their attention to me if I order them to assist me in my experiments. I need them to quarry and take pieces of the stone and bring them to my lab here. I can have them take a large chunk of some of the giant stone that is down there and bring it up here.
what's special about the stone?
All the stone I work with and all the stone you have seen here actually belongs to the flesh of individuals who have been petrified by magical means. In this particular facility, we utilize a multiple amount of means to be able to accomplish this. We have cockatrices that are kept down in the stables below, as well as a few basilisks that are keeping home in one of the old buildings near the front of the temple. I would strongly suggest that neither of you enter those two buildings unless you are prepared to try and take out 20 of those cockatrices or 2 of the basilisk.
No.
But we also use them because they have a means to be able to remove petrification as well. My quattle is able to, at least for a short amount on days, restore anyone who has been petrified and bring them back to life. However, my skills are more in being able to take the stone as it is and apply it to creatures that have been petrified to transmorph them into different, unique creatures. With my skills in the arcane, I have been able to morph the creatures into unique hybrids. But I found in my studies that I could not just simply turn them. I was able to shape the stone into new forms, but the form that it turned into was not adequate. The stone that I would use to add muscle, mass, or other things to them would remain stone when they would return to their normal state.
As thrilling as this is, do you have maybe a magical way or a secret door you know of that can take us directly to Sneaky Hair Bitch?
No.
Great.
The only way I could do that, but that'd be something that'd be far dangerous, and I don't know how well you all can hold your breath.
For water, poison, what are we talking?
A vacuum of space with no air in it at all.
You can survive that?
I cannot. Why would I? No.
What
Well, I
do
was just wondering. You brought it up.
You asked if there was another means to get you there closer and more direct, and that's
Yes.
the only one I can think of.
So what are you suggesting? You just said void space.
He reaches into his pouch and pulls out a black napkin. This.
Oh, that's a napkin. It's a nice napkin too.
It's more than just a napkin. This is a portable hole. I can lay it across any surface and put something inside of it to then transport with ease. We use this to transport most of the stone that is in the statue quarry in the center of this establishment. I have them cut and carve pieces from larger creatures, be they oxen, be they giant, or other creatures of massive size, to fill in here and brought to me for me to use at my leisure.
Do it. I say we jump in that napkin.
Barkesh, we will die.
Oh, if you can hold your breath.
I don't trust myself to hold my breath.
Yeah.
Just looks at her, go, what?
I think we may have a larger concern than just making our way there anyway. Since she's a Medusa, it seems that she herself is quite capable of petrification magics such as those used on the giants and such, yes?
She is able to turn anyone to stone with but a glance.
And how do the workers manage to avoid this fate?
She chooses not to look at them directly, and they avert their gaze.
Question for the DM.
Hmm?
If I look through Winnie's eyes,
Mm-hmm.
I'll still be able to see her, so I won't have to attack with disadvantage, right?
Yes. But if Winnie gets looked at by her, then Winnie would be the one who would be petrified.
Yep.
And isn't your character incapacitated when you decide to look through the eyes of your familiar?
Her senses are deadened, so she can't hear or see from her own.
Right.
She can act.
She can. It's a very weird way. It's kind of like in a video game, like with Resident Evil 2, when the third camera perspective comes in, you start running, and you're like, and just reorientate yourself. It's kind of that.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll
Just-
be trickier.
Would you happen to know of any way to negate the petrification effect, or
If you have
lessen
access, if you have access to a greater restoration spell, you are able to return someone who has been petrified. My quaddle here can do that at least once. Those who have been blessed by the divine sometimes have this gift.
But
There is one other way. If you want to, depending on how you are petrified, if a cockatrice did it to you, all you have to do is brush the tail feathers of it upon you, and that should remove the curse. If it was a basilisk, you must drench yourself in the stomach acids of the creature in order to remove the stone. If it is a Medusa, I'm afraid the only way to remove hers is by actually using the spell.
But there's no preventative steps we can take other than not looking.
I pull out my silvered mirror. I'm gonna Perseus this bitch.
The mirror would be able to do that to her, but if you get her to look in it, that's going to be another task entirely.
Well, no, I'm gonna fight backwards. I'm gonna hold the mirror up to myself, and I will literally shoot magic over my shoulder. Be a neat little trick.
You could, I suppose, avert your gaze that way, yes.
So, you were talking about things like not knowing what's coming. So you've mentioned, okay, so moving downward, what will we find?
If you were to walk casually, continuing down this expanse, you would reach the gatehouse. At the gatehouse, you will find that there are at least 5 guards stationed there, 3 of which are minotaurs, 2 of which are human. If you were to continue down, you would find that they have patrolled the area continuously with a mixture of some of the new hybrids that she has been put in charge of. They're not necessarily the best, but they are a bit stronger than normal. After that, you would be able to go into the main temple grounds where she has set up home and has her personal collection surrounding her throne.
What is her personal collection?
The hybrids.
They are the ones that would have been more well received. They are not the best, but they are some of my achievements that have gone on well. But to make sure that they don't go a bit out of control, they are currently in a petrified state.
Rakesh, could you create a full a full-faced helmet of sorts over the Gorgon if we get too close enough, or the Medusa?
Sorry, you're a bit muffled. What were you saying?
Would you be able to make a sort of like helmets over the Medusa's head if we were to get too close enough? Or perhaps prepare one ahead of time and get it over the head?
Ahead of time.
Ooh.
And make it reflective on the inside.
Well, the goal is primarily just to cover her gaze. if we use the same trick that we've used in the past with Smokey's magics and water flask, I see a way to potentially make this much easier on ourselves.
True.
I can always cast darkness around her.
I also have Stinking Cloud.
It will make it harder for her to hit. I also have fog.
If you can obscure your visions, that will prevent her gaze from impacting you, though if you are to be successful in this, you will need my help, and I will give it. As long as I can get an assurance from all of you that you will help me in turn. Yes?
Yes.
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 Of course.
He puts his hand out to one of you to shake.
I'll shake.
I will shake, and I'll palm him one of the greater health potions that I have in my bag as well.
Okay, so
Why?
getting a shake from first Varkash, he kind of nods, but then he sees Rook and he shakes and looks down at it. It's a very noticeable pass-off.
Yep.
The last
As an
time I buy you a present.
I had another one. As an apology for the initial meeting.
Thank you. Well, I shall then be more than happy to see you fell this creature and help me find my beloved once more. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight, as you guys now begin to formulate a plan as to how you might want to take on this creature with the help...
Can we just say we'll take a long rest right there?
We'll come to that next time if you want to attempt to do that, but he will, at least it seems, provide you with a means to be able to get to her by taking out the minions that are kind of blocking the place between you and her. But yes, we shall have to see what happens next time as you guys take on the Medusa and her statue garden in the temple. But yeah, good job everyone. So sorry for the late start from that terrible technical issue. But either way, I'm so glad that we could come back to this again and we're all here fully working and playing as usual.
And welcome back, Cody.
Yes, welcome back, Cody, everybody. So thank you all again so much, and we will of course be back at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Sunday. And for me and my astounding cast of players here, thank you so much, and we hope to see you again soon.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Have a good night, folks.